not just a house. It's a home. It's part of the neighborhood. Doing those things that does make money.
Well, that's where they're making their memories. That's where they're raising their kids.
Without getting us to the next step. We can't do that.
It's nice to be able to call someone today and say, hey, you've worked with us for all these years, so this is what we're thinking about doing. Can we pull the trigger on this today? Oh my stars, it is just so much easier to bank with First Community.
Hey, my name is Nigel Wright with COE Films, and I'm here to talk about my best friend, my brother, Kevin Miller. For y'all don't know, Kevin and I, we go back a long ways. I've been knowing Kevin for over 30 plus years. We grew up from a small town, West Helena, Arkansas. It's back east. And man, Kevin and I, we used to see each other as kids, even coming all the way on up now, you know, till we're grown-ups. And Kevin and I, we just been locked in, you know what I mean? We recently had got closer, starting back in 2013, 14, once we migrated up this way. Well, he had migrated up this way. I had a chance to kind of, you know, link with him a little bit more because I was coaching basketball, AAU basketball, and his son was playing, my son was playing, and I was just letting him know, look, man, you know, Arkansas is one of these places that, you know, we have sports and we have basketball, football, but a lot of this is underrated. You know, it's just flying under the radar. So, you know, Kevin, he was one of them guys had a big heart. If you knew Kevin, I promise you, you can't say a bad thing about Kevin. Kevin was always willing to help, willing to do things, willing to cut off your water, so to speak. Because he was a water guy, you know, and he knew his stuff with water. So he really was one of those guys that can liven up any room, you know. He could also just be one of them guys that can lift your spirit, you know. If you going through something, you talk to Kevin, I guarantee by the time you get off the phone with him, you won't even be thinking about it, you know what I mean? He was just one of those people. So, you know, just to fast forward, Kevin was a diamond, y'all. They said Arkansas has diamonds. Kevin was one of those diamonds. The man was a rare diamond, I promise you. You'll never find another like him. You'll never find another like him. You know, Kevin always put people before him. You know, you would never know it because he always was behind the scenes on a lot of things, but you would never know that Kevin had something to do with it, you know? So just to fast forward, it was a time that I can remember very well. It was back in 2020, and Kevin and I, we was talking about doing an open run, and I was telling him, like, man, I done went to Atlanta, Texas, I done went to Florida, I done went to these other states that the exposure was crazy. You know what I mean? They doing a lot of stuff for the kids to where they getting exposed. And I was telling kids, I'm like, man, it has to be something that we can do to try to help, you know, bridge the gap. And from that point on, and this was during COVID, y'all, we started an open run, and we did it at the Deaf and Blind. We invited over 30 players, 30 plus players, and we invited coaches in there, and it was a success. We saw that, hey man, we on to something right here. So we did another open run, and that turned out to be an amazing moment. From there, it sparked the interest. It started sparking things, and from there, we just kind of kept the momentum rolling.
Nice.
We went from that to just, if you saw Kevin, you saw me. We was going to different events, trying to highlight different players. We interacting with different media outlets throughout the state. And shout out to all the media outlets that's out there. Man, y'all do an amazing job helping keeping Kevin memory alive. Shout out to y'all. But we was talking about how could we help bridge the gap. We talking about the matchup showcase. I mean, we was bouncing ideas off each other, trying to put some things in play. I mean, we always was on the phone trying to see what was our next play. What was our next play? And from there, I saw the spark, an interest. Kevin had mentioned something about the media day. It was like, man, I saw something, about the media day in a different state. He was like, what you think about that? And I said, man, I think that would be awesome. And from there, it kickstarted. And we was rolling. The first media day turned out to be a success. It was a success in our own right because of what we wanted it to be. And, linking up with Kyle, Eric Taylor, Chris with Arkansas Pro Sports, and now Natural State Sports, this thing has become bigger, and I think it's becoming better every year. I'm looking forward to this media day that's coming up. You have over like 70 teams coming in that I feel like this year is going to set the precedent for the next years. You know what I mean? So, man, just remember my guy Kev every day is just always bring a smile to my face. Just talking with his family and with his wife and kids, it always brings joy to just remember him. And I think this Big Miller Media Days, the matchup showcase, the football media days, keeping his name alive. I think it's something that will always help everyone to remember what Kev is all about. Shout out to all the media guys, the sponsors, everybody that's helped putting this Big Miller Media Day together. Salute. Here we go. That's nice.
Okay, up next we have the Maumelle Hornets with head coach Jeremy Hall leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. How are you?
Man, doing awesome, Coach. Introduce yourself and tell us who you brought with you.
Yeah, so my name is Jeremy Hall, first-year head coach of the Maumelle Hornets. Today I brought with me senior Jordan Harris. Next to him is senior Bubba Johnson. To my left we have junior Kenan Johnson. And on the end we have senior Reese Sharon.
Coach, talk about your first year here. Talk about, being, able to just implement your system and how things are going so far.
Yeah, so, my first year at Maumelle was 2016-17, so I've been around the program for a long time. And coming into it, me and Coach Shook always did really, really well together. His philosophy and my philosophy have always really meshed. So it really hasn't been a big learning curve. We're keeping a lot of things the same. We all know his success at Maumelle. So just kind of rolling into it. There hasn't been a big learning curve. Everybody's just kind of learned, and we're doing really well with it.
I was just going to follow up on that question to Jordan. Jordan, I know Coach Hall's been around the program, so this is not like you're breaking a new coach, a new system, and he's breaking in new players and all that. But as we were kind of joking around off camera, you're a media day pro. I think this is your fourth one, right?
Yes, sir.
But talk about coming in now. Talk about that leadership. Talk about that experience. Talking about helping the other players along in the program.
Well, I can say leadership for me been big on my part since we first came in as freshmen. Having Addison with us, Addison Shelton, we was under his wing, and so with this year's team, we got a lot of young people that don't got a lot of experience. But having me, Bubba, and Reese that played, we got experience in our wing, so we just gotta be vocal leaders on and off the court, and just make sure we can win games this year.
And to the rest of the players, talk about how things have been. I had a chance to watch y'all at the Big Miller Teen Camp, and I saw some of you guys. I didn't get a chance to see you, nor you, Bubba. So I know y'all was in football, so to speak. So talk about the chemistry now with Jordan coming in, Bubba coming in. Talk about how everything has been so far.
They've been at football, but it's been really well. It's like a dogfight every day at practice with Coach Reggie coming in. He came from UAPB, so he's just really put it on us, and it's really well, yeah.
I really feel like our chemistry getting better from last year. Our chemistry was kind of down beginning of the season, but it got better. And this year, I feel like we have really good chemistry. And practice been really hard. Standard been really set higher than what it was last year since Coach Rayson came in. Yeah.
And Coach Hall.
Go ahead, Reese.
Yeah, and Coach Hall is a big part of that too.
Y'all lost a ton of production from last year. Markalen, said, Jace, the list can honestly keep going. Who are some other guys that you have to lean on, and how do you make up for the loss of production?
Yeah, so can't say enough about our seniors from last year. We graduated 6 seniors. 5 of those went on to play college basketball. The 6th could have played, but he decided just to go straight into college. So replacing those guys is going to be extremely tough. I think we were talking about it. We returned like 8 to 9 minutes of playing time this year, but relying heavily on Jordan and Bubba, who were out last year due to injury. So bringing them in and utilizing them, they've started for us as freshmen and sophomores. So it's not like they're new to it. They've both been in big-time games, big-time atmospheres, won conference championships, so we've leaned on them before. So leaning on their senior leadership in big-time games, in practices daily, is going to be a big part of what we do.
Coach Hall, talk about that run last year. I saw you guys had a couple big games, including the one that was at Little Rock Christian. At Maumelle when you played Little Rock Christian, and you had them down by 30, and they had a chance to battle back. Just talk about how that game kind of shaped the rest of your season going forward.
Yeah, so early on, we struggled with chemistry. Our guys really weren't sure, what we were capable of. We always talked about being a championship team, but weren't sure if we could get there. We had the loss to Little Rock Christian early that really kind of blew our spirits down. When Sylvan Hills did us a favor and beat Little Rock Christian, it kind of put wind in our sails. So we knew that we were kind of in charge of our own destiny at that point. So whenever we came into Little Rock Christian, the guys were amped up. They were locked in. Had a really good game plan going in. They executed it well. Going into halftime, I think we felt a little bit too good about it because coming out from halftime, JJ just went on a run. We kind of got in some foul trouble with our bigs, which hurt us to protect the rim. He was able to get downhill, and we didn't want to get guys fouled out, so we just kind of, stood there and hoped he missed, but he didn't do much of that. So, but yeah, it was a big part of kind of letting us know what we were capable of. Once we knew that we were going to get the 1 seed, guys were really locked in. Chemistry went up even more because we knew we had a legit shot.
Being in the 5A Central as an assistant, you've been around. You've seen a ton of talent come through the 5A Central, and just the state in general. Maumelle always has a tough schedule. So you've seen the top guys for a while now. Talk about the talent as a whole in the state of Arkansas. And, talk about that.
Yeah, so the talent in the state right now is phenomenal. I know back in 16, 17, it felt like everywhere you went, there were guys between 6'5" and 6'8" just going crazy everywhere. Seems like the past couple of years it hasn't been quite like that. One team will have a dude, or a couple teams may have one dude, but now it's loaded. Sylvan Hills has a lot of guys that are going to go to the next level. Parkview's loaded with guys going to go to the next level. Little Rock Christian has guys that go to the next level. Jacksonville's got some young guys that are coming up. Greenbrier's got a bunch of size and length. I mean, there's a ton of talent just in the 5A Central. And then with our non-conference, we're playing a lot of 6A teams in non-conference just like we always do. And finding those guys, everybody's going to go play college basketball that we're going against. They're all going to be in big-time atmospheres, big-time college programs. And so we want to give our guys the best opportunities to play against them.
Coach, that state tournament game, the finals, the up and downs, the in and outs. Talk about how that moment has shaped, your mindset. Being in that position and also getting in a new head coaching role. How are you taking that moment and just making sure that the guys stay focused just to try to get back to that point?
Yeah, so really preaching on all the little details in practice. If a guy doesn't touch a line, whenever we're running, if a guy misses an assignment in a drill, if he doesn't, close out with a hand up, we're always preaching those little bitty moments beside the big moments. Because in the state tournament, we can go back and we can play and we can point to not just one single play. There's 15 to 16 different things that if those would have gone differently, had we have made the correct decision, that would have made the difference in the game. So every time that we see those little bitty details, we want to make sure and point that out in practice. Hey, that can cost us a game. Y'all have seen it firsthand. If not, we can go back and watch the tape, and it really helps them realize how important those little things are.
I realize I asked Jordan a question about assuming a leadership role, and like Nick pointed out, and like you pointed out, Coach, missing a lot of production from last year, right? A lot of leadership. I'd like to hear from the three others, right? So what roles now are you guys? We know your roles on the court. We've seen you, but what roles off the court have you stepped into and assumed since you guys did lose so much production from last year?
Yeah. Bub, you want to lead it off?
Yeah, I'll start off. Pretty much just being like a leader, like off the floor as well. I've always been a leader like my whole life, so being a leader has always came natural to me. Making sure that we have chemistry, whether that's going bowling, going golfing, or even just joking with each other, going out to eat. I know we all love going out to eat, so I think that's the biggest thing. Make sure we have chemistry as well. So.
I feel like I got a bigger role this year in the leadership aspect. Last year I didn't really have to be much of a leader because we had so many seniors. But this year, we lost so many seniors, so I have to be one to lead our team and get us held accountable and stuff. Yeah.
I feel like one of my roles as a leader is taking people to practice, home from practice. Like we were in a butterball league, and I picked up Kenan a lot, and just being more of a nice guy off the court.
This is for the players. Hall kind of touched on it already, but we'll start with Reese.
Okay.
Jordan, you didn't play in the state championship game, and Bubba, you were hurt, correct?
Yeah.
So let's just go with these two. What have y'all taken from the state championship? You came up short, obviously, at the end, but what are some things you've taken with the state championship loss, and maybe I'll use it in the off season? Maybe it's fuel or things you've taken from it.
I think about it every day, to be honest. I've taken to the off season of just not trying as hard. Like last year during practice, we didn't have to put as much effort in, and this year we're all about effort. We need everybody to lock in every single day to try to get to the state championship.
I mean, really, I just pay attention to the little things now, because little things would cost us the game. And effort, really. We preach effort every day in practice, whether we're running through plays, or in the weight room. We preach effort.
This is also for the players. We can start with Jordan. What's been the biggest difference switching from Hall, from Shook to Hall?
The biggest difference is just how he take it seriously. Shook was a great coach. I'm not going to say he wasn't, but Hall, he just bring the effort and intensity every day, in practice.
Coach Hall is an amazing guy. You know, he won the River City Conference Championship, so I know that he knows what it takes to be able to win a championship. And Coach Shook is an amazing guy. I love Coach Shook. and just switching over, just being enthusiastic. You know, the enthusiasm has always been there with Coach Hall, and also being ready and prepared for games.
You know, I only had Coach Shook for a year, but for the year, he was a good guy. You know, he played with us a lot, joked with us a lot. I mean, he was a good coach. He got our game plans right whenever we need it. But Coach Hall, he's an amazing coach. He coached me in JV this year. So, I mean, I feel like he's ready for that position.
I feel like there's not that big of a difference because they both kind of coach the same. But this year, I feel like the question was the jump. The change. Oh, the change is it's more serious on the court, but there's not really that much of a difference because they're really both good coaches.
Coach, this to you. So talk about, you know, is this team where you want them to be right now? Considering that, you know, it's early, but it's all right. The season right around the corner. Are they where you want them to be right now at this point?
Yeah, I'll give the honest answer to that. We're not where we want to be right now, but I think that is in due part to the change, and like they have, you know, had a testament to like the difference in practice. We've got, you know, some guys that are locked in every single day in practice, and they're going hard at everything they do, and we've got a couple of guys that, you know, they go hard 4 out of 5 days or 3 out of 5 days, and kind of need almost like a mental rest day. But we've got to get to where we're showing up every single day and being everyday guys, because we know, you know, with the team that we have this year, we're not going to be able to take nights off, and so we've got to train our mind every day that we can't slack at anything that we do.
So you got the Hornet Nation. I know they done heard of the coaching change, and I know they're watching right now. So from each one of you all, tell the Hornet Nation what to expect when they watch and come support a Maumelle Hornet team this season.
Well, they'll expect the same out of this team as every other team, physicality and winning games this year.
You expect a high-scoring game and also being real physical. We'll be getting up and down the floor. That's our motto, to get up and down the floor as fast as we can and get as many shots up as possible.
I feel like they expect us to win games, play physical, and give everything we got out there. Leave it all on the floor. Don't check no plays off.
Yeah, just to expect a dogfight every single day.
And Coach, for you?
Yeah, so they're going to see a brand of ball that they're used to. The standard is going to be the standard at Maumelle. We're going to win. There's not going to be any excuses for not winning. So that hasn't changed, and that never will change, no matter who's behind this podium or who's in the first chair.
But there you have it. Got your hard-nosed Maumelle Hornets looking to bring it to you this season. Coach, thank you all for coming out, giving us the opportunity to interview. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
All right, we're back with Coach Garrison and the Maumelle Lady Hornets. Coach, if you don't mind, take a few minutes to introduce yourself, introduce each of the ladies you brought with you, and then just a little something about them, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. My name is Grover Garrison. This is my 4th year at Maumelle. We have senior McKaylin Hall, we have sophomore Tyler Collins, senior Kaylin Bean, and junior Ava Folks. 4th year. We're really moving forward. It's been a process. Hasn't been the easiest. Sometimes the wheels of progress move slow, but I think we're now to the point where we're going to be a difficult out. So I feel really good about a lot of things that we've been doing this year.
Well, Coach, you can look at your just records over since you've been there, and you're really starting from the bottom and moving, towards the top. And I understand even last year wasn't where you want to be, but just kind of scrolling through there, I mean, you guys lost a lot of really close games that you were right there. So what have you been preaching in the off season to, hey, you know what, guys? We've been close, but what's going to put you over the edge so you can start winning some of those close games and you can finish with that above 500, make a regional run and hopefully a state run?
Well, as strange as it is, a lot has happened off the floor. I think I spoke about it last year. We had to really rehab the program, basically clean it out. And we've been able to get some young ladies who have bought into the culture of where we're trying to go. It has not been an easy process. Last year we lost several games. Ava Folks was pretty much the only thing we had offensively. She kind of had a few rough patches, but then we started really trusting the offense, and a lot of our schemes had some really good games right there at the end of the year. And this year, she has some help. So she won't have to do as much. She can play more of a natural role. And I think production-wise, we kind of struggled offensively. We've always been sound defensively, and this year I think we have a few more weapons. So I'm really excited to see what happens.
So I'm kind of going to steal what he said a little bit, but maybe go a different direction with it. How rewarding is it to start to kind of see the progress of it going in the right direction?
Well, this is something that has always been attributed to me, as they say, program builder, program starter. It just takes time. The world we have right now is not willing to wait long enough. And so it's like anything else. Microwave food does not taste as good as food in the oven, but you got to take your time and wait for it. And that's what's happening here at Maumelle.
I'm going to address this to the ladies. We'll just start with you down there, Ava. Coach Garrison was talking about how you were really the only option last year, and when you didn't have a great game, that you guys may have faltered a little bit. I want to hear from all four of you. But Ava, what have you and your teammates been working on that off season so that some of that load can be shared and you can be, more of a distributor too?
We've been working on our chemistry a lot and learning each other's styles of play, and not only on the court but off the court, accountable, and being sure we're always talking about, how we can improve, make practice tougher, make sure we're always giving it 100%, and just really working on that chemistry.
I'd say we've all been taking care of our role in helping each other out. Yeah.
I say training hard, working together, and making sure we held each other accountable even when one is slacking and one's
Yeah, I would also say working on our chemistry and then holding each other accountable is two really big things that have helped us.
And Coach, you mentioned that hopefully she'll have a lot more help. Who are some of those ladies that you're going to be relying on that maybe aren't here today? Can you fill us in on some of those?
Well, some of the young ladies we have are pretty much the returners. Zoe has really been playing well this summer. Zoe Williams worked on her shot, spent a lot of time in the gym. I think she's recommitted herself to basketball. She's not very big, but she probably puts up about 100, 150 shots a day. And she started increasing. I think right there at the end, she was up to about 400 or 500. Just trying to find some place where she can contribute. Harmony Starks, big body, sophomore this year. Last year was her first year actually being on the varsity level, so she didn't really know what to expect. Had a pretty good summer, real physical, and so she'll definitely help.
Okay, Coach. So I'm a big conference guy, and I just want to know what you're doing for us. Getting them ready for that non-conference and heading into that conference schedule.
Well, we're going to look at it like pretty much everyone else. We start the season off with 5 games in the first 7 days. We're just going to roll them out, roll them out. We didn't really get a chance to have the kind of summer that I liked. Ava had to have surgery on her pinky. KK had to have surgery on her pinky. We had a few kids who were out with little nagging injuries, which kind of threw us back a little bit. So I'm trying not to fast track us, but in the same sense, non-conference, we're going to get a lot of play in. So I think that chemistry will start to clean itself up as well. But for the most part, 5A Central has always fared well. State conference, we feel like we can actually be in that top 4 this year. But once again, that pretty much comes up to how well we make the transition. And I think we will, but as we know, players play, coaches coach.
So this is to the girls. Talk about that game, that one game that you're looking forward to playing headed into the season.
I would say in conference, the 2 games I feel like we really could have had was Jacksonville and Sylvan Hills. I feel like we were all like, the games were always so close, and it's just, this year we want to be able to get a good run and a good lead. That way, we can secure it.
Yeah.
I wasn't here last year, but I feel like we're ready to play anyone and that we can compete with anybody during our conference schedule.
I second that. I think that we are ready to compete against anyone, and I think that we have the receipts to prove it.
I also feel like we are ready to play anybody, and we are ready to prove ourselves from last year, since we lost most of our games last year. But yeah.
And if you don't mind, I'll also kind of want to speak. KB here sort of came to us unexpectedly. Had a great career at Cabot, one of the leading players. She's our Swiss Army knife. And I hate to say it, but how she goes very well could be how we go. TC, Tyler Collins at Parkview, great shooter. She's working on putting the basketball on the floor. Her on the other side of Ava. I really think we have something this year. KK, Michaela Hall. Last year she had a knee injury, so she really didn't have much of a preseason or a summer. That's behind her. She's really playing well, so I think it's going to be a different look. They're really taking more ownership, let me say it that way. In the past, Maumelle has always had kids who like basketball, they didn't love it. I think we've kind of changed that now.
This is for Ava. You've seen this program come all the way up from the ground. Kind of my question from earlier about how it's gotten better each year. What do you think needs to be done to maybe take that next step as a team?
I think we just have to all buy in. Like these past 2 years I've been here, I feel like we just haven't taken it too seriously, and our culture just hasn't been there. But I feel like this year we're all ready to buy in. We've been working hard in the weight room, on the track, and in practice, and I think we're ready for that. And I think we have to be able to apply it, though. I think we have the pieces and we have the potential this year. It's just all about putting it into work.
So, Coach, considering the pieces coming in, how is your philosophy, your style of play is going to be this year?
Well, it all is rooted in fundamental basketball. I'm not really married to any system. It all depends on what we have. And now with our pieces coming in, we're just looking at what's going to put us in the best situation. And we're going to get up and down the floor a little bit. We won't be very deep, but our skill level has increased a lot. And so I'm going to let them play. Who you are is who you are. And I think these young ladies are pretty much going to allow me to sit back a little bit more without having to orchestrate everything. A lot of things we're doing right now is very player-driven. And this is sort of my philosophy. But for the most part, I think we're going to be a hard-out merch.
For each young lady, talk about your pregame ritual. Some people they just meditate. Some people listen to music. What is that one thing that you do before the game?
I mean, I'm more of like, I like to get by myself and like lock in on my own. I'd say, and a big part of it is praying before each game. That's a big part of my pregame ritual.
I like to listen to music and do a lot of form shooting before I start my games.
I like to listen to music, get in my dribbles, and form shooting as well, and also reading before a game.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't do anything. So, yeah.
Well, there you have it, Coach. Hornet Nation is listening. Lady Hornet Nation, sorry. Lady Hornet Nation is listening. Tell them what type of product that you're going to put on the floor this season and what to expect.
Well, the product is going to be a lot better than we've had in the past. We started seeing Lady Hornet Nation show itself a little bit more, but this year I think that the style of play that we're going to exhibit, more people will want to come out. We haven't really had the best crowds, but it's been growing. But I think this year's the year, and I'm going to hold them accountable just like I want them to hold me accountable as a coach. It's my job to get them ready, and I'm definitely going to do that.
Well, there you have it, the Lady Hornets. Coach, thank you all for coming down,
Yes, sir,
giving us the opportunity to interview, and good luck on your season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with Coach Joe Gregory and the Mills University Lady Comets. Coach, if you don't mind, introduce yourself, introduce each of the ladies you brought with you, and just tell us a little bit about each one.
Yes, sir. I am Coach Joe Gregory. This is my 5th year at the great Mills University Studies High School. To my right, I brought Geneva Gregory. She's my floor general. She led us last year in assists and steals. Right here, Next to me, to my right, is Kirsten Johnson. She's coming off an all-state season. Last year, she led us in scoring. She also led us in rebounding. Both of these players are impact players. When she gets hot, you're in trouble. This is, to my left, a new addition to our team, Ariel Williams. We call her E-Dub. 6 foot. She's our tallest player on the team. The one thing about her that's very special is that she can pick and pop. She can shoot the 3-ball. So that's going to be a new dynamic to our team as far as our post play. To my far left, Kalia Sanders, one of the hardest working players in the gym. She can get up and guard you 94 feet. She's going to guard you when you get off the bus. I mean, she's tough. She probably has one of the, I know the girl's not going to lie, she might have one of the prettiest jump shots on our team. But yeah, that's, and I also brought one of my other seniors who's sitting right here, Kimberly Warren, one of the hardest working players that we have. I have to run her out the gym because she's always in the gym putting up shots. So.
And Coach, for those who may not know, you took over a program that literally hadn't won a game.
Right.
You took over a program that didn't even have enough players at the time to field a team. And in a few short years, you've turned it into a statewide respected program and made a big run last year. And again, for those that are watching and don't know, just give us a recap of that run through the conference and the regionals and state last year.
Even before conference, the non-conference, we had a huge, we played a lot of talented teams. We had a very hard schedule. There were games that we won, there were games that we lost. And we did that primarily to get us ready for the conference and to make a run into the state playoffs, the regionals and the state. At some point, we just clicked. Tragedy hit us, and we just clicked. My girls, I thank them all the time. They just took it one day at a time with me, and conference hit. We took our first and only loss to East End, and after that, we just took off. Making it to the regionals, I can't even remember how many years it's been since they've made it to the regionals, and to win that first game and to qualify for state, at that point, we weren't satisfied. We wanted more. We got all the way into the semifinals of the state. We won the first half. We didn't show up in the second half, so that's the difference in the ball game. We lost to a very good DeQueen team, and they ended up winning it. So, but our girls are they're highly motivated, and that game, making it that far, really pushed them. And with these 7 seniors that I have, we're gonna be ready this year.
Coach, just to piggyback off that, we went 9-1 in conference. You finished first in conference. It seemed like it's like you peaking every year. You're going higher and higher. Considering how high you went last year, is there any pressure on these girls, or and to the girls? Are you feeling any pressure considering the season you had last year to replicate that?
Well,
just to you and them, yeah.
Well, the pressure is going. Pressure makes us all better. It's either going to make you fold or it's going to make you better. And I try to put in my girls that, hey, we're not going to run from smoke. We're not going to run from the pressure. That's the only way we're going to get better as a team. Just with these 7 seniors that I have, all 7 seniors want to go and play on that next level for college basketball. So they're going to have to learn how to deal with adversity now, so when they do reach that college level, they'll be ready. I also often tell them that we can't ride last year's wave. We have to start a new wave. We're not going to be able to creep up on anybody like we did last year. So we are definitely right now, we have a target on our backs. So, pressure comes with the success of winning. And that's our ultimate goal, is to win. So.
Geneva, I wanted to ask you, Chris referenced a second ago about how, I'm going to put you on the spot here, but it's a good thing. Chris talked about when your dad took over the program, and it was just really, really struggling. And I guess your freshman year, you got to play with Jordan, so you got to play with your sister, obviously playing under your dad pretty much your whole life in one way or another. What has it been like through your eyes now that you're a senior leader of this team and you've been through everything that you have with these girls? What has it been like for you to watch all of this unfold?
It's definitely a great experience to see because from our first year and having to build a team up to where we are now is just very breathtaking. And I think that we've had a lot of outsiders trying to pull us down, but at the end of the day, we've all came together and became stronger. So that's all that matters.
Ariel?
This area.
That's
This is
Ariel.
KJ. This is Kirsten.
That's right, Kirsten. So, Coach Joe just said you were the leading rebounder off last year's team, right? Talk about that, because when he said you were the leading rebounder, I was like, this isn't the biggest girl on the floor. So just talk about the tenacity you must have to go out there and lead the team in rebounding.
I feel as though personally, nobody can jump with me, honestly. So.
Well, Coach, last year, early preseason, I came in and I did a take on you guys, and just me being around and seeing the practice, kind of being on the inside, watching everything, I noticed that the energy, and in my piece, I had said that you all was looking to make a deep run, considering. So that energy, is it still there considering that, or is it more intense considering that, the level is high, even higher now?
That energy is higher now. That energy is a lot higher now because we have said in the beginning that we have a goal. Our goal is not to, just win the conference. Our goal is not to go undefeated. Our goal is to be playing in the last game of the 4A state championship in Hot Springs. So with that being said, we have to bring our intensity up, and it starts in practice. Actually, it starts in the classroom. And from the classroom is going to continue in practice. So no, we can't. I would be doing them an injustice if I allowed that same energy that we had last year to remain the same. I need 110% or more, and I also tell them that a quiet gym is a losing gym. That's why I always want it loud in the gym.
You referenced the gym. You referenced the last game of the season. What would it mean to be the first class to play in the new gym that y'all have, to maybe make it to the last game?
That would be great. We can't. We are so anxious to get into this new arena, and I think they're a couple of weeks away for us actually going in and actually practicing. But with this group, with these 7 seniors that I have, with just this team that I have, to do a little bit better, when I say a little bit because we were in that semifinal range, to do a little bit better than we did the previous year is going to mean the world. But I do know, speaking of that arena, they are ready to get in the gym. These girls, another reason they're ready to get in the gym because every player on the varsity team, they are required to shoot 1,100 shots a week. We need to be in the new gym. We want. It's good to be in the current gym that we in, but hey, the way the arena is set up, it's a different kind of shooting that you're going to have to get used to shooting in that big environment with all of the seating. So we're anxious to get in there.
Well, Coach, speaking of your overall team and those 7 seniors, can you expound on some of the ladies you're going to be relying on that aren't here today and tell us who they are?
Yes. Like I said, I have Ken Warren right here that came with us, but also our school president, Stormy Sanders. She's another person she's gotten a lot better. Over the summer, she put in work. She's another one that I'm constantly having to, she's working, and she's another one that I constantly have to try to run out the gym because she'll stay there all night and put up shots. She's going to really challenge KJ right here for that rebounding award this year, and also Ariel. Our other senior that's injured right now, Juice. Hopefully she'll get over her injury and help us at some point. But we know that she's there for us all the time. We have some young players that are stepping into a major role as far as they're going to be playing more quality minutes, but they've earned it. And, you know, everybody's going to be ready for the challenge. Even young ladies on this that's up here with me currently. These two, out of everyone that came with us, these two played the most minutes. But these two that you guys see on camera, they're going to play a lot of minutes this year.
And just a fun fact, let's say you're playing queen on the court and you get a chance to play a WNBA player or a collegiate player. Who's that one person you want to play queen of the court? Starting with you, Geneva.
I really look up to Caitlin Clark and Paige, so I'll play either one of them.
Paige Vickers.
Paige Vickers.
Probably Angel Reese, because everybody compared me to her.
Angel Reese.
All of them.
Just bring the smoke. Coach, Lady Commons Nation is watching, and, you know, they want to know exactly what, I'm sure that everybody else in this room want to know what type of effort or what type of product will the Lady Commons Nation be seeing once they hit the floor?
Lady Combination, you guys are going to see a new team. We're going to play a little different. I think in order to get better, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over. You have to sometimes go in and remix some things. So teams like right now can go on YouTube and pull our old games and watch what we did in the past. We're going to change that up a little bit. You know, we're going to play a lot faster. We're going to be more defensive minded than we've already been. Again, we're going to apply pressure as soon as you get off the bus. We're applying pressure. And these young ladies, the one thing I really love about these young ladies, no one is selfish. This team is not worried about individual accolades. At the end result, we're trying to win. So you're going to see we're going to move very fast. We're going to speed you up, make you turn the ball over, and we're going to score a lot of points just off of our defensive intensity and our defensive effort. So I'm ready.
There you go. Lady Commons Nations, they said they ready to put on the show. Coach, thank you all for coming out. Looking forward to seeing more of you all throughout the season, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach, you said off the bus?
Off the bus. Off the bus. Off the bus.
I like it, John.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank y'all for having us.
Appreciate y'all. Hey, you sit down. See y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. What y'all trying to say?
For sure. Y'all go ahead and grab something y'all want to say.
Got some stuff over here. Got some drinks here. Got some snacks there. How y'all doing? Good. Everyone okay? Yes. Okay. Man, Coach. Yeah.
This is exactly what I said. Are you internet famous, buddy? Coach, speak well about us. Speak well about us. Don't ask me. If they ask me what WNBA player, I don't know. What if they ask me what WNBA player I want to go up against? Just say like
None. Zero.
Say like Paige or somebody. Yeah.
The obvious answer.
Either do like Paige or Caitlin Clark. Okay. Or did you walk any of those three? Paige? I don't watch the WNBA. Me either. I just know Paige from college. So Paige, Caitlin Clark, Paige Becker. Okay. Or did you walk I don't know who that is. Just say it. She's a good player. She's good. What if I'd be like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. That's goofy. We'll make the
All right, we're back with Coach Smith and the Baptist Prep Lady Eagles. Coach Smith, if you don't mind, give us a brief introduction of yourself and the ladies you brought and just a little something about each one of them.
I'm Chris Smith. I'm the head coach of Baptist Prep. I've been there 9 years. I brought my 3 seniors. I brought Summer Odell, who was all conference last year. I brought Mackenzie Moore, who was all state last year, and I brought Sydney Sanders, who was all state last year.
And Coach, you guys had an amazing season last year, right? You have a couple great guards. For those who don't know, would you mind giving a recap of last year?
What did we go, 24-6, 23-6, something like that?
Yeah.
I can't remember. We had a good year. I felt like we surprised some people. We got second in our conference, loaned to Dover, who went to the state championship. We didn't finish like we wanted to, and I hope that's going to be motivation for us this coming year. I hope it should be, and that's because we want to go further.
And Coach, you're seems like you're led by your guards. Got to see you guys a couple times live last year. We'll start here with Sydney. Sydney, you've been playing Baptist Prep, leading Baptist Prep. Just talk about now stepping into more of a leadership role. Not just production on the court, but what that leadership role off the court also means.
I think like the leadership role, I think I probably should step up more. I'm kind of like quiet most of the time. I feel like this year I need to bring more leadership, more like communication to the team so it can be like more well-rounded as a whole.
And Coach, do you mind speaking on just behalf of your backcourt here and just talking about them? I mean, you got honestly, you got one of the best backcourts in the state right there.
Well, they can shoot it. They both can shoot it. They faced about every kind of junk defense there was known to man last year. So, we're hoping that, like what Sid says, I'm hoping all 3 of these will step up and be more vocal leaders for us. I think that's something we need as a team. I've expressed that to them. But I think you're right. I think we've got a great backcourt. I think Summer is underrated in a lot of ways. Summer I don't think she really understands her strengths sometimes, which she runs the floor really well as a big. She really jumps higher than what she really thinks she does. So I think with these 3 kids, I think here again, we've got a chance to be really good.
And Mackenzie, similar question. Actually, I want to hear from both Mackenzie and Summer here. So, new role, right? It's not just production on the court, but also you guys talk about that leadership off the court now. You guys, again, y'all had a great year. What's it going to take to take it to that next step, right? So you can finish strong.
I think one of the main things is just having fun with it, like keeping it fun and keeping it serious at the same time would be a major thing, and our chemistry, off court and on court, because that's a big thing. Chemistry is a really big role. And I'd just say talking more, just having fun, talking on defense, doing the little things.
I mean, basically what she said. I think you probably hear chemistry a lot from a lot of teams, but I think it's underrated a little bit, and so it's important, I think, to know your team on and off the court, where they are in life, and how you can better them in the gym, bettering the team in the gym.
Had a close game last season against Pangburn at 62-60. Talk about that game and what it meant, and how has that game been lingering on you guys?
You got it?
We thought about it all summer, to be honest with you. I think everybody has to look themselves in the face and say, what can we do more? I know as a coaching staff, we looked at it. We've gotten the weight room more. We're stronger than we've ever been. I think from a X and O perspective, I think that, a lot of people keyed up on these 2 right here. So we're going to try to push it more to where we can really go in our fast break. And if we don't have it, we're right into our offense just like that. But honestly, I think the biggest thing is kind of what Max said. We got to guard. We got to guard and rebound. When you score 62, 60 points, honestly, in a playoff game, you expect to win. And we didn't do it. And we didn't guard. So they're going to hear it all season from me. They're going to embrace it, and I think they will. I think they know firsthand if we don't, what will happen. We'll be disappointed again.
Well, Coach, you to piggyback off what you were saying a little earlier, who else do you have? Can you talk about some of the players on the team other than Summer? Who else is going to take some of that weight off of Sydney and McKenzie?
Well, I think offensively, I think we've got two sophomores I think can shoot it, especially on some given nights. I think they're going to help with that with Jordan Jones and Peyton Moore. I think even some of my junior guards who may not be scoring threats per se, but really run the floor really well in our break, like Haley Harden and Jada O'Brien and Bethany Dang. And I think also with Summer, I've got two other post players who have a lot of experience, who've had a lot of playing time. So I think this year, I think we'll have more depth. So my hope is you're right. I hope we have more balance because, it's hard to coach. I don't care who you are. When you're seeing junk every night, it's hard to coach that.
And this I'm going to start with Sydney. I'd like to hear from all three of y'all if you don't mind. But I'm going to start with Sydney. Sydney, your recruiting has picked up pretty heavily over the past, 4 or 5 months. You don't have to talk about specific schools if you don't want to. But what advice would you give to other student athletes out there who are going through the recruiting process and who are having schools reaching out to contact them?
I would say, don't worry about, everybody else and what they're getting. Just focus on yourself because at the end of the day, you need to get better. You looking at, how other people do stuff, that just might get in your head. You just need to better yourself, put in the work. You might have to go 2 or 3 times to the gym, but if that's what it takes to be at the next level, that's what you got to do. So.
I would say piggyback off what Sydney said. It was pretty good what she said. And just really focusing on yourself and your grind because there's a lot of stuff on social media, so don't get caught up in all that. And just really honing in on the schools that you want to go to and be realistic with your expectations. Don't set it too high. Don't set it too low. Keep it in a place where you can achieve all of it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Coach, talk about where your team is at this moment. Talk about are they meeting your expectation at this point?
Well, I don't have all my team yet. I got half my team volleyball, so it's really hard from that standpoint. The kids I have met my expectations. Especially in the weight room. There's no doubt in my mind we're a lot stronger. Offensively, I think we're going to be fine. Here again, I think the question mark's defense. So that's something we're going to stress really hard coming up.
I wanted to add off that because I wanted to ask you specifically about having volleyball kids because Baptist Prep's pretty good at volleyball. Yeah. Been to multiple state championships, won a lot of them. Coach Spoon's done a great job. But how do you balance that? Of course, we have a lot of cases where basketball coaches are waiting for football players, and we've asked them. So kind of want to ask your perspective just from the deep volleyball runs and how good they've been.
I'm going to be honest, it's hard, especially when you're an old school guy. Been doing it for 29 years. It's hard. But I have learned, and I think what's important is, and this is something I think I've learned from last year too, we worry about getting everything in and doing this right off the bat. I think you just got to, kind of like what Max said, let's go hard and see what we can do and not worry so much about the wins and losses early. Let's just try to grow as a team. And because, we're going to have some kids like sophomores going to have to adjust. We've got kids coming from volleyball that's not in shape for basketball. We haven't run any plays. We haven't run any offense. We haven't worked on defense. So I just think, honestly, from my years, I've learned a lot as far as, especially from last year, just go at a steady rate here.
Coach, y'all are considered one of the dark horses of the conference. So, just coming in, being with that mantra of, stipulation on you, talk about how you're going to overcome that. Or just being in that position. Talk about it.
Well, something I shared with my assistant, and I've never told a team this, and I can say this because I'm where I'm at. I coached in public school for 20 years. But where I'm at, I can say this. I want my kids to grow more in Christ. I want them, because growing in Christ and growing in their faith, they also grow in each other, and they can have examples. And, you know, I was telling her that, you know, we talk about culture a lot. Well, who have the best culture on the face of the earth? You know, you talk about sacrifice, you talk about love, you talk about serving. Well, that's what a team's all about. So I think if we grow in him honestly, we'll grow as a team, and we'll be better. And the wins and losses, I'm going to do my best as a coach not to sit there and worry somebody, hey, we got to win this many games or whatever. If we do that, those things will come.
And to the girls, talk to the Lady Eagles. Talk about to the Lady Eagles Nation about what you're going to bring and what to expect every time they see you all play on the floor.
I would say 100% effort, no matter what. Yeah, I can guarantee, like, trying on any given night, trying my absolute best.
I know we talked about how a lot of us are coming from volleyball, but I don't want people to think that that means that we're going to be in any way behind. I know a lot of us are hard workers, and so we're coming in, we're going to put in the work, and it's going to be great, and I think it's going to be so fun.
Well, what they said, like energy, effort, because I feel like we're going to be playing more up-tempo this year, you know, because we got more guards, so we got to definitely, like, be able to push the pace, give a lot of energy, you know, a little bit different than how we played last year.
Well, there you have it. The Baptist Press Lady Eagles, everybody. Coach, thank you for coming out, giving us the opportunity to interview. Looking forward to see more of you guys do that.
Thank y'all for having us.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, we're back with Coach Harden and the Robinson Centers. Coach, if you don't mind, take a second, introduce yourself, and then introduce all the guys that you brought. Tell us a little bit about each one, if you don't mind.
Okay. All right, I'm Anwar Harden. I've been at Robinson High School for a long time. I've been the head boys basketball coach for 11 years now. This is my 12th. We've had some pretty good success. But to go ahead and introduce, this is Caleb Burns. He was an all-state, all-conference performer for us last year. He averaged 17 points a game last year. I think 3 rebounds. We're going to get 1 or 2 more this year. He's a really good scorer. Can score at all three levels for us. He's been kind of beat up this fall with injuries. I know he's a little frustrated with not being able to be on the court very much this fall, but hopefully he's going to be healthy real soon. And then right here we have Joseph Hewitt. Joe Hewitt. He's new to the program this year. I guess it was about in April, Caleb told me, Coach, I think we got a transfer coming, and I was asking about who it was, and then, I take the approach most of the time as okay, I believe it when I see it, and he showed up. He's had a really good fall, a good summer as well. I will say this one thing about Joe. A lot of high school kids, when they look at film and they fast forward to the parts that they're not on the court, and then they just, or whatever. But this young man, he's watched every single game that we played last year without him multiple times, and then later on, I got him in class, and I found out that he kind of wants to be a coach, and then I figured out, okay, that kind of explains it. So, but we're glad to have him. Then we have Jaden Smith. One thing I want to say about Jaden is one of those guys who has kind of worked himself up through the ranks through JV and not getting to play a whole lot, and he's busted his butt, and it's in today's time, we're in a microwave society, and a lot of kids want that success right off the bat. They want to be playing varsity, getting minutes right off the bat. I think we all do, but he's kept his head down, and he's worked, and he's going to be right there for us this year. So been proud of Jay. Then we have Braylon Jackson. Braylon Jackson is all these guys are seniors. I haven't said anything about that. All these guys are seniors. Braylon Jackson, he had a really injury-riddled junior season. I'm looking forward to him. He walked with a limp and ran with a limp so much last year. I thought something was wrong with him this year when he wasn't limping in practice. So hopefully he's going to enjoy a injury-free season, and we got a lot of big plans for him as well. And I'll talk later. I know you guys always ask about the guys that aren't here. I'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we'll ask about them. Matter of fact, if you want to go ahead and bring them up, you can. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay.
Yeah.
We also have Gunnar Rath. Gunnar Rath is a great shooter. He's had a great fall. I've been kind of getting on to him the last couple of weeks, but he's one thing I like about Gunnar, he changed his shot this summer. He was already a great shooter, and he changed his release point on his shot, and we were kind of nervous about that at first, but it's coming around, and I think he's gonna play a big role for us. We also have Aiden Macon. He was here with us last year. He led us in three-point shooting last year. He shot 39% from the three-point line. He averaged 10 points in conference and the playoffs for us last year. Then we also have Anthony Brown. He's a junior. Gunnar is a junior as well. Aiden is a senior. Anthony Brown, he's a junior. He's a great slasher, great on-ball defender. He's been and a great offensive rebounder as well. I'm expecting a lot from him. And then I have Nehemiah Love on here. He's a senior. I just call him a defensive nuisance. When in practice, when we want to give some of our better offensive players a challenge, we just put him on them. And he's a nuisance defensively. And he's really bought in on the defensive side of the ball because he knew that, he had some challenges on the other side, but he honed in on the offensive side of the ball and made that his home. So we're looking forward to see what he can produce for us this year as well.
Coach, finishing 9-3 in conference, third in the conference, so to speak. So talk about just building on that and once you get through talking about it, I want to hear from the players and how they plan on building on it.
Yeah, looking at that conference schedule, we ended 23-9 overall, and 9-3 in conference. 2 of those games still, I watched a little bit of one of them this morning. 2 of those games, we we had a lead in the last 30 seconds, and we lost 2 of those against really good teams, Clinton and Morrilton. Yeah. I think the main thing that we have to do, we want to really make a run in the state tournament for a change. We've gotten beat in the first round of the state tournament the last 3 years. We've gone 4 years in a row, but gotten beat in the first round. And I think the finish in conference is the key. You want to try to finish better in conference so you have a better matchup in regionals and then do real well in regionals. So that's where we're focused on trying to build him from.
Yeah, I think last 2 years being the 3 seed, I think we could have done better than that. So just like he said, being better at finishing out those games, because I think we could have won every single conference game we played last year. So I bet just getting a better record and being 1 or 2 in conference this year will help us go far in state.
As he said, I wasn't here last year, but what I can do to help is just like every day in practice, bring what I can to make everybody else around me better, and use my voice at practice, like use the leadership I can give, and that's what I'm bringing.
I'll say probably just being able to finish, considering that we lost 2 close games to Clinton and Morrilton, just being able to finish it out so we can get that conference chip.
Piggybacking on everything they said, just finishing, because the way we lost those last 2 games was just unfortunate. Had a late turnover, and we just got to be better at the end of games. So, but I think since we have an older group this year, those little bitty mistakes that we had, we've all grown from them, and we've matured, and we know what's right and wrong at the end of certain situations.
Yeah, that's kind of going into my next question for you. So just over the summer, during the off season, some of the things that you've been working on as far as your skill set, getting prepared for those moments, so to speak. So explain and talk about it.
Yeah, this year I played with an AAU team called Off to You, and I mean, obviously I can score the ball, but on a great AAU team like that, everybody can score the ball. So just learning to play more of like a point guard role, and just knowing when to pass up a shot for a better shot, and just being more of a point guard in late game situations. I think that'll help a lot this year.
My summer was focused on how to get other people open so the game can come back to me. It's like setting as many screens as possible, find the open man, and then learn when to cut whenever it's open.
Yeah.
My summer, I would say probably just getting stronger, being able to handle that pressure when they guarded me closely, and just being a better leader for my teammates.
I focused on this summer. I had 2 knee procedures, 2 surgeries, so I kind of just been focused on getting my lower body and my knees back under me. And like Coach told me last year, I was doing all that limping and stuff, but this year I made sure that that's a main priority, that I'm 100% for my team.
Great. Coach, talk about the leadership roles. I hear him talking about, becoming that and making sure that they focus on that. At this point, is that where your focus at with this team, considering, coming off the summer into the off season? Is that where it's at?
Yeah, I think we're always trying to focus and develop better leaders. I think all of them, they're not natural vocal leaders. They're more like go out and get it done. But I hear a lot more in practice every day, not only just encouraging, but also instructing some of the younger guys that may not know. I've been impressed with how they've pulled some of the other guys that don't know certain procedures or certain plays or what to do or how to do certain things. I've been impressed with, whereas maybe a couple years ago they would just laughed at them and kept on going, but now they're pulling them to the side and being a lot more of leaders as far as that's concerned. And I think they've done a good job of that over the last couple months.
So, to the Senators Nation that's watching, I want each player to give them I won't say example, but give them your selling point, letting them know what to expect once they see you all on the floor.
Yeah, I think this year I think we have a really good team. We have a lot of depth, and they'll just see a lot of guys playing quality minutes. I think we'll go really deep in the state tournament this year. I think we've got a lot of seniors, and yeah, I just think we're going to do really well this year.
I think they'll be able to see how passionate we are on defense, like, because once we get one stop, like, we're so hungry to keep getting stops and like feeding off our defense, and then we'll play hard. We'll play hard whenever we're on the court, 100%.
I think they're gonna see a team that's gonna compete. We're gonna be a brotherhood and just play hard.
Yeah, competing, playing hard. We gonna shoot that 3 ball and we gonna defend. So we got a lot of shooters, and if some of them get hot, it's over with. So that's just the way I think, and we gonna live and die off of them, knocking that down and then defending and having their backs on the other end.
Coach, you heard the players. Won't you sum it up for them and bring it on home?
I think and I promise I didn't rehearse that with them. They hit the nail on the head. I think we have a really good chance to be a good offensive team. The key is going to be the other end of the floor. We're going to have to defend and defend at a high level. If we defend at a high level, I think the sky's the limit for this team, because we got offensive players, guys that can put the ball in the hole. The defensive end is going to be the key, and I know y'all heard that all week. But for this team, for sure, I know that's going to be the key, and that's why we go over that stuff. And I know they get tired of it every day. We're always doing something with defense, whether it's full court, half court, transition, whatever, and that's going to be the key for us.
Well, you heard it here first. Head coach NY and the Senators, the boys Senators. Sorry about that. Be there to support your team, and they're going to put a product that you're going to be proud of. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it.
You all big students. Trojans and catch that. I want to say Trojans. Yeah. I'll be damned if I'll be getting that blue and gold. Yeah. Black and gold.
If you remember the day I called Nelson Tigers and said that.
Oh, really?
Black and gold, I get.
Y'all seen a lot of folks this
More what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, y'all ready? 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, got it.
Yeah, guys.
We appreciate y'all, man.
All right, man. Yes, sir.
All right, we're back with Coach Cody Storms and the Mayflower Lady Eagles. Coach, if you don't mind, brief introduction of yourself, and then introduce each of the ladies you brought with you, and just tell a little about each one.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having us. Coach Cody Storms, I'm starting year 7 at Mayflower now. Brought all seniors with me today, starting far left. Ruby Otts, Alyssa Grizzle, Kaylee Joe Francis, and Miranda Leslie. These have kind of been the 4 since 7th grade. I think we were talking on the way down here. I think we started with 11 or 12 7th graders when we started. These are the 4 that's left as seniors. So they're a pretty special group to me. Actually, it was my second 7th grade group after I got the job. So these young ladies are pretty special to me.
And Coach, that's good. You know, they're talked about this before with coaches. Boys basketball, you can start off with 10 kids in the 7th grade, and you're going to have those 10 kids. Girls basketball, you know, they funnel off to volleyball. They funnel off to here. They funnel off there. But to retain 4, you know, for 6 years like that, now you have some really strong seniors, actually says a lot. You know, Coach, you guys had a really good year last year. But even going through your schedule, I mean, you had a lot of games that you guys lost, some really close games. So it could have even been a much better schedule. What did you guys work on in the off season to maintain obviously the wins, but then take it to that next level to win those close games instead of losing them?
Funny, we were talking all the way down here, and they're like, what do we say if we're asked what we need to improve on? They all said free throws. There was so many games. Actually, I think every game but 2 last year, if we would have just made our free throws, we missed more free throws than we lost the game by. Okay, and when you go back and look at that, it's so frustrating. If any coach out there has an idea on how to improve free throw shooting, I need to talk to them, I promise you.
Well, hear a coach say that y'all are 4. You said you had 12 initially, right? It was 11, 12.
Yeah, it was 11 or 12.
Yeah, so basically to be the final third remaining of that, I know that obviously y'all are a special group, you know, like as far as the bond and everything. But Ruby and Miranda, I wanted to ask y'all, being on the state championship team, you know, Ruby, you winning the MVP at the state tournament, being the pitcher. Miranda, you being behind the dish, obviously being battery mates. I know that's a big deal, but how are y'all, you know, as far as like your connection off the field, and then how do you take that, what you have on the softball field, on the basketball court as well? And I'll start with you, Ruby, because I know sometimes the pitchers get all the love, the catchers sometimes get left out.
I think our chemistry is really good, and like to bring it to basketball, we can all bond together and just like, I don't know, make it better.
I'd probably say like when the team ourselves softball wasn't really doing well and we were having like a little like mess up moments here and there, I'd come together and bring the team to the pitcher circle and just calm them down a little, like just compose ourselves and get back to what we know, like the basics, like we all know what we're doing. And so I feel like we could all bring that together and be leaders to each other and hold each other accountable for our mistakes and what we know, because we all know how to play the game. So yeah.
I'd like to hear from your other 2. You know, obviously you guys, you've known each other forever. You've been playing forever. There's a bond you guys have that a lot of teams don't. So I'd like to hear from the other 2 about, you know, stepping into more of a leadership role, right? Not just production on the court, but also being that leader off the court.
Yeah, we're all super close, and we've all been super close. So we do carry that onto the court, which sometimes we do kind of argue a little bit, but we're close enough to where we can just blow that out the way just easily. But no, I think we could all show leadership in some ways, especially towards the younger girls. We leave the yelling to coach, but we're always going to pick them up and just stay positive, and yeah.
Well, us all, we've all been playing together since the 2nd grade, so like, right here? Okay, sorry, I'm sorry. We've all played together since we were in 2nd grade, so like, we've been a part of playing basketball and as a group for like a really long time. And so obviously playing with each other for as many years as we have, there are going to be bumps and there's going to be times where you don't get along with somebody. But at the end of the day, we all understand that we have a job to do, and the job is to play basketball and to get stuff done. And I think us all knowing that and like the chemistry we have because we've played together helps, like not individually show leadership, but as a team show leadership and help the younger girls like want to be more involved in the sport that they're playing and like actually care about it.
You know, Coach, they mentioned younger girls a lot. Who are some of the other players on the team that you're going to be relying on other than these 4 seniors?
Well, that's a great question. Last year, I think every single player played in every single game for us last year. Every player on the team got playing time in a game last year. But some that's not here, we've got 3 juniors, Chloe Whittington, Patience Webb, and Steph Ojala. Expecting big minutes out of them. Then we're bringing in 3 sophomores coming up from 9th grade. And we're going to find out what they're about real early because they're going to get their chance early. And that would be Emerson Brown, Ada Matthews, and Haley Grizzle, Little Grizzle we call her. But we rely on everybody. And the way we kind of play, I think they'll tell you it's exciting to watch. But it's also tiring. So there's times these seniors are going to need some breaks, and we've got to have somebody step up and give them those 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, you said the way we play, it's exciting but tiring. Well, describe that offense and describe that defense that's exciting and tiring.
Fast. Last year we were full court man-to-man the whole game. And actually, Kaylee Joe, I got to brag on her for a second. She got 3 10-second calls by herself in just full court man-to-man. She got 3 of them throughout the year by herself. And then on the other end, I'm not a big play guy. I mean, if we go down the court, I want to get an open shot. If that's the first pass, that's the same as running a 30-second play and getting a look. I want them to feel free. I want them to feel like, hey, it's okay if I shoot this. I don't pull them out for shooting it, so they know if they're open, we're going to shoot it. If that's a transition 3, it's a transition 3. If it's a layup, it's a layup.
Coach, just paying attention to your schedule last year. I know you finished 4th in the conference. Talk about, I saw some games where you win 4, and then you drop 3, you win 4, drop 3, you win 4. So talk about just being able to break that.
Jekyll and Clyde.
Yeah, being able to break that. Talk about that.
I think some of the times we struggled last year was inexperience. This group of seniors was sophomores on the team that had all the seniors and went to the semifinals. And then last year it was them. There was no build into it year. It was them, and just through experience, kids get more mature. They seem to get smarter, okay, as they get older. So, but it's who we have. That's who we're going to rely on, and I think they'll tell you I trust in them to go out and do what they're asked to do. And I also think I give them a little bit of freedom to play the game of basketball, and hopefully the experiences learned last year will help us in those 3-game losing streaks this year.
So talk about that amongst the girls. Talk about those games and those moments, and how amongst you all, how have y'all been talking about breaking it yourselves?
I'd probably say we need to come together, and sometimes in practice we kind of get off task and we lose focus and goof off a little, and I think that kind of plays a part in games sometimes, and maybe staying focused more would help better outcomes and winning games like those.
I think a lot of games we just got in our heads and we just couldn't control that, so we just got to make sure to stay locked in and just keep that energy up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this isn't funny, but a lot of the times I think we kind of worry too much about doing everything right, and at the end of the day you can't do everything right, and instead of letting the mistakes that you've made in past plays affect the way that you play moving forward, that you
Yeah.
just kind of need to like let it go and just remember that you're playing basketball and that it's your last year and that's all that you have left.
That's right.
I would say a lot of our games we started off really slow and didn't pick up until about the halfway through the third quarter, and missing a lot of free throws and just like taking it more seriously.
Coach, what's the difference in this team compared to the last team? I know you talk about the seniors, but what's the difference you can see in this team compared to last year?
Last year's team?
Yes.
Maturity, a year older. I think they may not admit it, but I think they were a little nervous going into it because it was them, and when you lose as much scoring as what we lost,
Yeah.
now somebody's got to fill those shoes, and this year I think they're ready for it. It's the year. Last year was one of the most fun years I've had coaching. They play so hard. They're fun to watch. And then it was just like we would struggle to score points at times. And we would go on stretches there of 6-7 minutes where we couldn't score the ball. And that hurts you. That hurts you when the final buzzer goes off. But I think a lot of that's just confidence. Confidence in their play, confidence in each other. And hopefully last year we kind of built that. And we want to get back to the state tournament. Our expectation every year is state tournament, because when you get there, anything can happen. And so that's our goal every year, is just let's get there and then let's see what happens from there.
So, I like that quote that's in the room, that's on the bulletin board. What's that quote that's on the bulletin board for you?
Well, I could probably think of a lot.
Or a word.
And I will say that, like, we have not got to have a team practice yet. We have 3 girls in off season until volleyball's over.
Really?
Our volleyball team's really good. So I may have to text you, get back with you when I think of the right thing. We'll see how the first practice goes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we defense. I heard Coach earlier talking about defense. We do it religiously. We practice it religiously, and a lot of times, if you have a team that struggles to score the ball a lot, you better be able to stop the other team.
That's right.
So that's what we spend a lot of our time on, is defense, and it would probably be something related to that if it was the bulletin board material.
Okay. You have anything? Okay, Coach. Looking into that camera, Mayflower Nation, they want to know what you're bringing on the table, what you're bringing on the court. Talk to them.
Well, fortunately, Mayflower has the gym's pretty full for girls' games now, and it's a really neat experience. These kids will tell you a lot of times when we roll out, it's packed. They're extremely fun to watch. Like I said, we're going to get after you defensively. It's going to be full court man-to-man. Kaylee Jo and Miranda will be up there harassing whoever has the ball. And then this year we'll be, we're a little bigger, I would say. Alyssa was injured last year, so we get her back. Patience Webb, another post player. So it may look a little bit different, but it's still going to be the fun, exciting run, shoot, the open shot that people want to see.
Okay, that's it. We appreciate you all coming out, giving us the opportunity to do an interview, Coach. Appreciate that. Good luck to you for the season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
Okay, up next we have the Little Rock Southwest Lady Griffins. Griffins, how you doing? Griffins, my bad. Griffins, sorry about that. Griffins. Got head coach Marquita Myers at the table. And coach, introduce yourself and tell us who you brought.
Oh, thank you. First of all, thank y'all for having us again this year. We really do appreciate it. I'm Marquita Myers, and this is my second year at Little Rock Southwest. And I have senior Ryan Reesby and senior guard Jordan Bowden. And I have Kamora Garcia. She's a junior. And I also have senior Jamaris Perry here today.
Coach, it's really not a secret y'all didn't have the best year last year.
Correct.
What are some things you're doing this year to maybe improve things this season?
Okay, well, great, Chris. This year we kind of got a better start, on the season. So we were able to go to several camps this summer, and we were able to start our preseason, off-season workout quicker. So all of that has played like a major part of our development this season. So we're really looking forward. We was also able to do like a whole lot of team building activities to kind of get the girls to develop that camaraderie and that team chemistry that we were missing last year. So we really worked on just development this summer and just building more confidence with the camps that we were able to attend.
From a culture standpoint, you've seen it at the top.
Yes.
You've seen it at the bottom.
Yes.
What's the biggest struggle, maybe from a culture standpoint, that you have at Southwest?
I would say a lot of teams, that I've seen the community involvement there. But just right now, it was just trying to just get familiar with the different system that Little Rock Southwest was used to, and just trying to make it my own. And then taking it we had to start from the bottom, obviously, so just each day we just trying to do different things to just build the culture into a positive different aspect as to what it was used to in the past.
Who are some kids you have back at home that you would like to talk about? That'll be a big players for you this season.
I have Jordan Bowden. She's my senior guard. She's going to be our point guard this year. We're really, right now she has several colleges that's been looking at her, and she hasn't made her mind up yet. But she's really that spark, that defensive spark for us this year. Also, she's going it's a different role for her this year, but she's going to be our floor general. So we've really been trying to work on just building a relationship and a rapport where she can trust me and I can trust her to just be that floor general that we're going to need this year.
This to each of the ladies, I'd love to hear from you guys, right? Your coach is building a program here, but not just building a program as she talked about. You guys are working on stuff that are off the court as well, right? She wants well-rounded women moving forward. So whatever happens in life, you guys will be ready for it. So I'd like to hear from each one of you what do you guys work on as far as just leadership abilities, integrity, building responsibility, all those things that your coach, who again has been there and done it all, is instilling in you guys value-wise?
The biggest thing that our coach has helped in with the leadership, she's boosting. I feel like, actually, I want to say we have the best team chemistry off and on the basketball court. I feel like no one could beat us with chemistry within each other. And the leadership skills, I feel like everybody comes every day to make sure ready to compete and be competitive with everybody, and we are ready for anything that's coming our way.
Yes, and over the summer, we just learned how to be a family. We learned how to work together. We learned each other's strengths, each other's weaknesses, and we just learned each other. And then we had a lot of recreational activities. We had a lot of we went to Pinnacle Mountain, and we did a lot of team bonding events that was really fun, that helped bring us closer together. So I feel like that chemistry will help us evolve in the season and help us come out on top.
So we all come together as a group sometimes during practices and just talk to each other about things we want to work on, or just certain things to about our mental health and how we can fix that and so forth.
A lot of us transfer from different schools, so we're all new to this. We're all a new group, and I feel like God brought us together for a reason, and I feel like we can make something out of it. And we do a lot of team bonding things, not like going out to eat, but we all come as a group, and we do like she said, we talk about mental health, our weaknesses, our strengths, and how we can help each other with it. And I feel like that's a good thing, because not a lot of teams do that, and you also have to know each other outside of the court to really have that good team bonding.
Jordan, you're obviously the leader of this team. What are some things that maybe you do on or off the court, maybe through your game, maybe in the locker room, some things that you do to maybe bring the team together?
My biggest thing is to make sure my team feels safe with each other, to make sure they feel safe with me if they feel like they can't come to anyone else. So my biggest thing is to make sure that they feel that support within the system, to make sure that they are well taken care of and feel good about each other in the basketball.
Coach, you got a gauntlet of a schedule. You could have no non-conference, and your schedule would still be really super hard. What are some teams in non-conference that you have to maybe improve or get your team ready for your conference gauntlet?
I think when we play Sylvan Hills, that's going to be a good comparable matchup for us. They have some really quick guards. They have a great coach. Also, we're going to play a lot of scrappy teams. I mean, they have 5A teams. Maumelle is looking to be a pretty good team in their conference this year. So I think that's going to be a great matchup for us as well. Also, we're going to be taking them to Oklahoma this year, so we'll get a chance to play Rogers Heritage, which that's going to be a really good comparable matchup for us too this year. So we're just really looking forward to just working on us. That's something that we preach every day for us to get 1% better every single day. So we're really looking forward to our non-conference schedules, and hopefully, we're excited about getting some W's this year. So looking to do that. That's the goal.
All right, question to the ladies. I want to know who on the team is that person that's getting everybody on the line, that is making sure everybody's wearing the right thing, that is lifting everybody's spirits when you're down, or is that voice in the locker room? Who is that person on the team that everybody looks to?
Me. Me.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like the big sister.
Yes, it's definitely Jordan. But I say me, Jamaris, and Jordan work as a unit to do that together. So it's not just one person. We all participate in that.
Yeah, I agree. Our seniors really do. They do a lot for us, honestly.
Yeah, and all of us, even us seniors, have bad days. So I feel like we all lift each other up, because every single one of us has had a bad practice, got into our head, and even not even the seniors, but the sophomores, sophomores and juniors also uplift us seniors too. But I feel like we all uplift each other. It's not just one person. But if I had to choose, it would definitely be Jordan, Ryan, or me. Yeah.
It feels like the spirits are a little bit higher this year than in the past.
Absolutely.
What are some things you're doing in the community, Coach, that maybe makes it more positive to help maybe support y'all?
Okay. We have a lot of sponsors that we reach out to the small businesses, and this year we had a chance to go to a few of our elementary schools, and we had a chance to work there and volunteer hours. Our girls volunteered their hours for community service at Lacey's. We did field day with them. We also do a lot of work with fellowshipping with Christian athletes, so we were able to get involved with them too. They were able to go to their last banquets, and they serve the guests of honors that was there for the fellowship with Christian athletes. So
I'm going to give you one more question, one more thing. Look into the camera and tell the Griffin fans, the Lady Griffin fans, what they can expect from your program this year.
Well, y'all going to expect toughness this year. Me or the girls? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was asking you.
Yes. Wins. Our goal is, and the mindset this year is, we're trying to get to the state tournament this year. So y'all gonna expect us to come in. You're gonna expect us to work hard, because one thing we preach in our program is, everything that we're getting, we're gonna have to earn it. So last year we kind of got thrown over the court. So you're gonna expect us to play good, hard-nosed defense this year. And we're going to come out swinging every single game. And we're looking forward to the competition, and we're looking forward to getting to the state tournament this year, very first, for Little Rock Southwest.
Well, there you have it, Griffin fans. Thanks for coming, Coach, and good
Thank
luck on
y'all
a good
for having
season.
us. We appreciate it. Thank you.
We've had enough of this nonsense. We've had enough of this nonsense.
tonight.
All right, up next, we have the Little Rock Southwest Griffins with assistant head coach Raymond Shaw. How you doing, Coach?
I'm all right. How y'all doing? Thanks
Man,
for having me.
doing good, Coach. Introduce yourself and tell us who you're bringing.
I'm Raymond Shaw, head assistant coach at Southwest High School, and right here I have senior guard Marion Stout, and right here I got freshman guard Taylor Brewer.
Okay, Coach, give us a cap of your last season and talk about this season.
Last year we finished 15 and 14, and we got exited the first round of the playoffs against Fayetteville. We underachieved. I think we underachieved last year because of the size that we had. But this year we're looking to come back and dominate with our guard play because we lacked guard play last year. Marion right here, and of course Aiden and Jeremy, who's not here right now, they're going to lead the way this year. Freshman guard Taylor just entering high school. He's going to come in and provide a big spark for us. We hope so, off the bench.
Coach, talk about the success you had last year. How could you build off of it, and how the players reacting to it?
Last year, it was an eye opener for some of our guards. They experiencing the playoffs, and I think that once they seen the way that the state tournament is ran 6A and how competitive it is, I think that they hungry now to come back and be competitive and get back into that, get that edge and get back into the second round, maybe possibly the third round. I think that we're gonna be, slept on, and I think that we looking for that angle to take this year.
So, Coach, it was pretty competitive, and it's like you said, it was an eye-opening situation. So, just to the players, let's talk about how that season, capped off, and how have you guys bounced back from it, and what you're looking to do.
Is that to the coaches or the players? Was that to me?
To the players.
Can we ask it again?
Can you say it again?
So last year, like I said, they had a lot of success. Well, they had some success, and they got pretty, made it to the state. Talk about what it meant and how you've been working to get back to that level.
I would say getting there, it took a lot of defense, a lot of just getting over ourselves, and closer to the end of the season, we just became one as a team.
To be honest, getting to state was like a big, like a trophy for us, kind of, because it's not really used to being there happening at Southwest. Like Southwest is considered a downplayed school, not a school that win a lot. So when we made it to the playoffs, it's like, yeah, we can do this. We can compete with all these other teams. So now we just finding ourselves, gaining chemistry, playing with each other each and every day, and trying to make it there again, make it farther than we did last year.
Okay, we got Coach Chris Street up here, Coach. Because last year we was talking about just the season, making it to state, and talking about how, the success. What are you doing to build on top of that for us with this group?
I think a key becomes, a lot of times you're not careful. You're concerned about the game, not the process. The process happens a lot far before the game. One of your guys who are good shooters, they don't become good shooters in game. They become good shooters a lot of times when they're in the gym by themselves, when the ball's echoing, and they're putting that work in. Kevin Eastman coached for a long time with Doc Rivers. He has a rule of 2. Said it takes 2 minutes to teach something, 2 weeks for it to become a habit, and 2 months to see it in the game. And I think a lot of times players don't consider that when they're trying to become a successful team. They're looking at the fact that someone is winning or a program is successful. And a lot of times they're overlooking the details. They're overlooking the weight work, or they're overlooking the time out on the track, or they're overlooking the conditioning. I've never seen a kid that said they don't want to play freely and up and down, but the work it takes to do that and look like you're actually playing freely is because of details. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we've had to improve, is a lot of times the attention to detail is lacking, and teams don't know why they're not successful, and it comes into preparation. And so that's one of the biggest things for us is, I think for years at McClellan, we had an identity. We're going to be up-tempo, We're going to try to make you do things you don't want. We're going to try to make you do things you don't want to do. I think at Southwest, unintentionally, because of COVID and things, some steps were skipped that we're trying to fill in now.
So to the players, to Little Rock Southwest Griffins Nation, give them an idea of what they're planning on seeing this year as they support you all through the journey.
Man, I feel like they finna see us win this year. You know, every day in practice we've been working our ass off to, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, sir. But every day we work hard in practice, you know what I'm saying? We changing the culture every day, you know what I'm saying? We going hard every day in practice to be better. You know what I'm saying? We're tired of being in the back seat, watching everybody else win. You know what I'm saying? We ready to take that step forward and go beat everybody. So
I feel like they feel like we been trash. And then come in and we just gonna keep trying to get better every day and work to make them stop believing that we're not a good school, and we just gonna keep trying to get better every single day.
I feel like we can compete with anybody. Like up and down, fast tempo, slow, half court, full court, we can compete with anybody. So I feel like the school should be prepared, be ready to see us win. You know, going out there kicking everybody butts, playing how we play, playing how we been coached.
I would say the same. They gonna see something this year.
Coach, just to piggyback off that, to sum it up, what will the Little Rock Southwest Griffins Nation see from the product you put on the court?
I think that I agree with I admire the enthusiasm the young men have, but I think the biggest thing is most teams beat themselves. So I think the key becomes I've got to do a better job of being a coach. I think each player has improved, each coach has improved, and I think if you do that, the results tend to take care of themselves. I think when you're concerned with we've got to beat this person, things of that nature, that's outcome-based. I think procedure-based is what actually leads to it. And so the key becomes we need to be better next week than we are now. We need to be better in a month than we are as the season starts, and we need to be better going into the conference than we are. So I think what you're going to see is a team where if a player doesn't put out the best of his ability, somebody else is going to get a chance to do that. As a coaching staff, we owe them our best. And so you're going to see a team that if somebody beats us, it's going to be because they outplayed us, not because we beat ourselves.
But there you have it. Little Rock Southwest Griffins. Coach, appreciate you all for coming out, and we're looking forward to seeing more of you throughout the season.
Thank you, and thank
Appreciate
you all
it.
for hosting. This is a wonderful thing for all of the teams.
Thank you, Coach.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
All right, we're back with Coach Nesselhut and the Catholic Rockets. Coach, if you don't mind, take a few minutes to introduce yourself, the fellows you brought along with you, and just a little bit about each one, if you don't mind.
Sure. My name's Jake Nesselhut. This is my 5th year as a coach with Catholic High. To my left, I brought sophomore George Bryant, senior Eli Olberts, and then these two guys to my right are both seniors, Mike Edwards and John Rankins. George is a sophomore, but he's one of the more talented kids I think we've had in, certainly since I've been there, and we're real excited to see his growth in the program this year, playing a little varsity. And then these 3 seniors, they've been around. Obviously, this is their 4th year. They kind of know what's expected of them. They bring a lot of great leadership qualities, I think, to the program, as well as some abilities basketball players. So we're excited to see all 3 of them and what they accomplished with their senior year.
And, Coach, just taking a look at last year, I realize it wasn't the record you guys may have wanted, but just kind of going through there, it looks like several games were close and got away from you. So it didn't seem like you guys were that far away from actually having a decent record. So saying that, what did you guys do in the offseason over the summer, team camps in the fall, to kind of get over that hump for this upcoming year?
Yeah, we finished 14 and 17. I think a lot of that record, at the start of the year was kind of the result of starting 0 and 6. But obviously finished the year strong in the 5A Final Four. And I think that's kind of the program we are and have always been. We get better as the year goes on. One of the things I think that we've tried to emphasize in practice this summer and this fall is, getting adjusted to the level of competition we're going to see in the 5A and the 5A Central. There's some really good teams on our schedule every year. I think last year we played 3 state champions in our non-conference. This year, obviously, the non-conference is not easy again, so just trying to get the kids ready for the level of competition they're going to see night 1 when we play Bryant in our benefit game.
So for the players, I'm going to start down here. What did the state tournament run do for y'all's confidence?
It was awesome. We haven't been to the state tournament in a minute, so I think getting there really showed us what we can do. Even if we didn't have a great record, if we just put some wins together at the end of the year and get hot, and it was fun.
Yeah, I feel like it really motivated us and kind of showed us what we could do, because we've always kind of been like a smaller school with not the most athletic players, but it kind of shows that if you work hard in practice and you do the little things, you really can succeed.
Yeah, I think it was a great motivation for us coming into this year, because I had a great time going up, being there, and I think it'll help us grow and improve as a team this year too.
I think it gave us a lot of confidence, and I think we are ready to go back.
And, Coach, we talked about the record wasn't where you wanted it, but you finished strong. What do you guys do as a coaching staff? And you said you scheduled another, you guys have another tough non-conference. So what do you guys do as a coaching staff if you are losing these super tough non-conference games to keep the guys motivated so that, like you said, you can make that run and be prepared for that run late in the year?
Yeah, I think one of the things we emphasize a lot as coaches is we're an internally motivated program. One of the things I'm sure our seniors have heard us say a bunch of times is leave the program in a better place than you found it. And so, that manifests itself in small ways every day at practice. Holding the young guys accountable, making sure we're prepared with the scouting report, making sure we can execute our offense against different types of defenses. And I think one of the things we've noticed is if we're internally motivated and we focus on those things, the wins come. It's not always early in the year. I think last year's kind of a good example of that. We really struggled out of the gate. But being internally motivated tends to manifest itself in winning games, especially later in the year as we continue to get better.
All right, I got another one for the players. I don't care who starts. Catholic High is known. The reputation of Catholic High is like the tough discipline. It's not a normal school compared to other schools in the area. How does that translate to basketball?
You're right. Every day, in school and at practice, we're held to a really high standard with everything we do. And I think that in the games, that helps us to be tough and know that we got an edge on people because we try and execute better because we, execute in practice. That's our big thing is execute. And if we can do that, we feel like we got a good chance to win any game.
Yeah, every day at practice, it can be a struggle sometimes, like with all the drills we do and all the defensive stuff and all the running, it's just a lot. But at the end of the day, when you get into the game, you feel more confident going in because you're in better shape you know what you're doing. Like, you're just being held to a higher standard all the time. When you get in the game, it's just that much easier to do it and hold yourself to that standard to be great, even when it's fourth quarter and you're really tired.
Yeah, to build off that, I feel like we try to make practice harder than games. So we go really hard, we scrimmage when we're really tired. I feel like that's going to really help us when it comes late down the road. We're playing a tough team, and we need to dig deep and pull a dub out.
In practice, even in school, we're always taught how to be mentally tough, and I think that translates to our game because even when we're tired in the fourth quarter, we still got to push ourselves to our max.
Coach, if you lined up all of your guys next to all of the guys in the rest of the city of Little Rock and all of their players, and you did a pickup basketball game, and you picked your guys, right? No one's probably picking y'all's guys first, Y'all were still able to get it done way further, y'all, all the doubters and everything else. What kind of chip does that give coming off of last year's success, knowing you're able to get it done with the guys that you have?
Well, I mean, first of all, I would always pick our guys because I think that one of the things that we do better than anyone is one of the things you hear these guys talk about, and that's be mentally tough. It's stressed to them every day at school in their classes. It's stressed every day at basketball practice. And, that doesn't just, appear for us in terms of boxing out hard or playing hard on defense. I think we do a lot of the things that are very difficult for other teams, whether it's shot selection, whether it's being sound with transition defense, whether it's being able to run our stuff when the crowd's loud and you're getting a lot of ball pressure. Our kids are mentally tough enough to succeed in those areas, and I think it's not so much about having a chip on our shoulder in terms of comparing ourselves to other teams. It's about what we do well, and that's being mentally tough.
Coach, would you mind to kind of tell us about some of the other guys that we'll hear about and you'll lean on other than the 4 that you brought?
Yeah, we got, in comparison to last year's team, we had 10 seniors. It was a class that had, been together for a long time. This year, a little bit different of a group. We obviously have the 3 seniors with us today, 2 more that are in football right now. But we expect to play some young guys this year. We've got 4 or 5 sophomores, including George to my left, that are fighting for minutes right now. And I think, one of the things that excites us is when you have a group of 10 seniors, the good thing is you know what you're going to get. But, they are kind of finished products. And when you've got 4 or 5 young guys, you kind of have a chance to see them. They're going to struggle sometimes for sure, but you also have a chance to see their games really grow throughout the course of the season. And we're really excited about that. It's a really talented group, especially on the offensive side. We've got a couple of sophomores that can really score and really shoot it. And we're really excited to see what they do. As far as names, obviously George, another one of our sophomores, Thomas Menser's had a great fall practice. And those are young guys that we're expecting to see a lot of. We got a couple of good juniors too, Todd Vidal and Alex Wood, that we expect to play for us a lot this year as well. So we're excited about the group we've got. Even if it's a little bit younger this year, we're excited to see how that group grows throughout the course of the season.
All right, coming back to the players, kind of off of the question that I just recently asked. You look at that, do you use it as motivation to know that people probably don't expect much out of Catholic basketball? What kind of mindset does come with it, playing for Catholic?
I mean, I think it helps. You're right. People, when we walk out on the court, even I feel like when we walk into the gym, people don't think a lot of us. They just kind of look over us, and that gives us that we got nothing to lose mentality. We're gonna go out there, play hard, and we're gonna show people why they should be afraid of us.
Yeah, there's really not that pressure going into the game that teams are gonna expect us to come out hard or anything. So we can kind of use the surprise of we're gonna play harder than you and we're gonna fight harder than you, and we're gonna do the little things that you're not expecting us to do, like take charges and be in good defensive position. I feel like we use those as kind of our attack, in games.
Yeah, we're a team that people look out at us when we walk out and they don't really expect much from us. But I feel like we're gonna bring we're gonna work hard every single game. We're gonna bring our all to every team we play. We're going to see how that goes.
Yeah.
Like John said about the nothing to lose mentality, I like being doubted just so we can prove ourselves.
So y'all had a few big wins last year. Some I can remember as far as Little Rock Christian, Parkview, Harrison. So those games right there, some of those teams were picked to do some big things in the conference. So talk about just building on those wins and how those wins catapulted you, throughout the season.
I think the biggest thing with those wins is, we have a really good game plan by our coaches, and we stuck to that. And I think that's one of the main reasons we were able to pull those dubs out. And we feel like if we just do what, we're told and we go out there and play hard, we can win any game.
Yeah, I feel like those wins for me personally, like it kind of shows us that the stuff we do in practice does correlate to winning games. Like some of the drills that you don't really think would make a big difference, late in the game, they really do. And it just kind of shows us that if you follow the coach and you watch the film, like you can win games that you are not supposed to win.
Yeah, their game plans definitely helped us a lot last year. I think without them, we kind of would have been lost against some of those teams, especially with matchups and things like that. But I trust the coaches. I think they're going to help us a lot with those big games this year too. And we got to bring it as players. We got to bring it, follow that, and bring our all.
I think if you listen to your coaches and execute well, good things will come out of it.
Coach, just to sum up, talk about the Rocket Nation and for the ones that's watching, talk about the product that you're going to put on the floor and what to expect from this group for the season.
I think that as far as what to expect, we hope that everyone that watches us play and every team we play sees us on the schedule and knows that, we're going to be the hardest playing team that they see all year. I think that's our goal year in and year out, and we hope that everyone who watches us play and everyone who matches up with us feels the same.
Coach, I got one more real quick before we close this out. I think Catholic, it's probably safe to say y'all have the best fans in the city. I mean, we have fans here. It's just y'all always bring a crowd. What is it about Catholic that always has such support?
I think that one of the things that's emphasized at the school is the fact that our student body is a brotherhood, and I think that these kids are such a close-knit group at school every day that even when, when they're at school, they want to support each other, whether it's going to sporting events or other things at the school, and then even when they graduate, our alumni network is so closely connected that a lot of them stay invested. We've had kids that, played 3 or 4 years ago who keep in touch and come to the games when they're back on fall break and winter break. And I just think that our school and our alumni group is such a close-knit community that kind of manifests itself in fan support.
Cool. Well, that concludes our interview, Coach. Appreciate you all for coming through. We're looking forward to see more of you all throughout the season.
Thanks
Good luck to you.
This is a great event. Appreciate y'all letting us come.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
All right, we're back. I have Coach Buffalo and the Centerpoint Lady Knights. Coach, if you don't mind, take a minute to introduce yourself, introduce the ladies you brought along with you, and just a little bit about each one.
All right. My name's Jonathan Buffalo. I've been at Centerpoint for this is my second year. Little tidbit: I'm only technically the third head coach in the history of the school. I'm in my 22nd year total in coaching and education. With me, I will tell you this a little bit before I tell them about these young ladies. We lost a group of 9 seniors that graduated last year. And this year's team has 16 players on it, and 9 of them are sophomores. These are 3 of the 4 players that are left from last year's squad that got to go to the state tournament. I brought Camila Gonzalez. She started a lot of games for us, started some big games for us. And when first conference game of the year when we beat Falk, she started that game for us. And she was always the first person off the bench, did a real good job for us. To my right here, I have Haley Dunn. I will say this about Haley Dunn: from the time I got here to the time now, how much she's gotten better, grown as a basketball player and as a person. And my far right is junior Gracie Gillespie, post player. I will say this about Gracie: great kid, great all-around kid, works hard every day. I would say these 3 upperclassmen, or along with a couple upperclassmen who decided to come back this year, are definitely my leaders for my basketball team, especially with our young players that we have.
You know, Coach, you guys had a heck of a run with that senior-heavy team, and your record could have been even a little better, but for a few last-second shots that were makes and misses. And it didn't seem like, looking at your schedule and just from hearing you talk, that you really shy away from playing some really good schools. You know, you lost a buzzer beater to Nashville. You played Falk. You played Arkadelphia. You played Poe, and you're returning in a lot of those games this fall. Talk about scheduling a very tough non-conference to get you guys prepared.
I mean, I always feel like throughout my career, a tough non-conference schedule gets you ready for conference, but really it gets you ready for the postseason. And that's what our aim is for, is to get back into the postseason, be in the state tournament. You mentioned we play Arkadelphia, we go to Nashville, we go to DeQueen, who's the defending 4A state champions. Poen, who has everybody back. We were able to beat them at Poen last year in a really close basketball game. They're very talented, but they're coming to our place this year. Washita, it's a 2A school that doesn't play football. They're a state tournament team. In fact, I believe they were really close, or might have had Barton down in the first half of the state tournament. So I believe that you're going to get better by playing better competition.
Coach, we this is to the girls. We're finishing second in the conference. Talk about the pressures of trying to repeat that, considering you lost 9 seniors. Talk about the pressures of trying to repeat that, if not repeat it, but to surpass that, starting here.
Yeah, so the pressure is pretty big to go to the state tournament again, and it was pretty sad to lose, in like the first round, but it's all right, and we just gotta keep being motivated so that we can go to the state tournament again,
Yeah, going off that, I feel like there's definitely a lot of pressure on us this year, considering we lost 9 seniors. And I feel like every day in practice, we just have to continue to get better at what we're not good at right now. We just got to continue to get better and have that motivation every day.
Honestly, there is a lot of pressure since we lost 9 seniors, great group. It just honestly motivates me more to want to win and not get second place.
So speaking of that, the leadership roles, I'm pretty sure Coach leaning heavy on you guys, but probably, more than ever right about now, right? So talk about, stepping into that leadership role and what it means to you right now.
Yeah, so the girls last year left some shoes to fill in, they were great leaders, but I feel like they helped us get ready for the next year when they're going to be gone, and they helped us get better and be more motivated with the games that are coming up. So.
Yeah, I feel like they were definitely great role models for us, and they helped us come to realize what it takes to fill those big shoes as a leader and become that role in the team.
Like Gracie said, they left some pretty big, things to fill. Honestly, I think they helped us a lot to show us what leadership is and how hard it is.
And to follow up on Nigel's last question, so who is that girl on the team, right? That when everybody's down and you got to have a little motivation, who is that person that's kind of stepping up right now and taking that role?
So On our team, I would say we have a lot of sophomores that do have like really great attitudes, but for the seniors, I would definitely say it's probably these two because no matter what, whether we're like in practice and, we're tired, all the drills we're doing, they're always like, come on, we got to hustle, we got to keep it up, we got to keep doing great.
Yeah, to go off that, I feel like the seniors definitely, because we don't have that many this year. One of them isn't here with us. Her name's Harley. I feel like definitely we play big roles in that when all the girls are down. We definitely try to keep them motivated and keep them going.
I agree with Haley. I think it's the three of us seniors. I don't like being in a bad mood or anything. So I want to win, and I want to push us to get better.
Coach, does this switch your style considering you lost those 9 seniors? Do your style of play switch up, or does it stay the same?
I think in some ways it'll stay the same, but in some ways we're changing a little bit of how we play. I will say this about the younger kids and these older kids sitting here with me and the ones that didn't make the trip with us today. They've been real open to change and say, hey, these are some things that we're going to have to do for us to be successful. It may look a little bit different than what you've done in the past or what we even did last year, because you gotta fit what you can do to what the team that you have.
Right.
So it is our philosophy and things are gonna be looking a little bit different than they did last year.
Okay. So I see you brought the 3 here, and I'm sure you're going to lean on more players. Do you mind highlighting some of those players that wasn't able to make it today?
I know that Haley mentioned Harley Palmer. She's going to be a big role for us coming back into the program after she didn't play the first year I was here, decided to come back into the program. Sophomore class, were very successful in their junior high program as they got older. My assistant coach, who's my head junior high coach, Coach Holt, has done a really good job in that program. I could go name 6 or 7 of them that are going to contribute of the sophomores. I mean, it's going to be a young team, but with these girls' help, I think that bringing them along and maturing them, I think that it's going to be a good experience. But I think it's going to be one of those things where we're going to be better at the end than maybe we are in November.
Coach, I got to follow up on what you said on the question prior, actually, that kind of stood out. You said, you're really going to coach to the players you have on the team, and they're open to change, and you're probably going to have some changes because the personnel. I was watching an interview with Pat Summitt years ago, so I'm going to kind of age myself. Years ago, but someone asked her, as a reporter, asked her about her style, her coaching style, how she likes to play, and her response was, I don't have a style. I just look at what team I have every year, and I want to coach a certain style based upon my players. Is that kind of what you mean, that maybe there's not a specific style, but you're going to take a look at your team and put them in the best opportunity to win based upon their own personnel and skills?
You're right. We all have preferences as coaches of how we would love to play. But, to put your kids in the best opportunities they can, sometimes you're not going to be set in stone. I think it's like a fluid situation. I'm asking these kids this year to do some things that maybe they haven't done before. And so I feel like you've got to go to what your kids can do or what you think your kids are capable of and not be set in such a stone that it's not beneficial to your program or to your kids.
So what are those things that they haven't done before?
I will say this. We're going to be a philosophy where we're going to speed the game up a little bit more than we've sped it up in the past. We're going to play faster. You're going to see multiple defenses show up throughout the basketball game. It's not going to be predictable. What you've seen from Centerpoint basketball in the past may not necessarily be what you see when we take the floor this year.
Okay, ladies, this is a question that Nigel Wright likes to ask, and I like to hear the responses too. So if you could play one-on-one with any college or professional player from WNBA or whatever, who's that one-on-one player that you want to get on the court with, not just to play against, but to actually learn their skills and play style?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could name so much. I honestly, just anyone who is the most competitive and a post player that I can learn from while playing with them, so I could learn some of their stuff and obviously not be as good as them, but hopefully get better from being with them.
I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, so that would have to be mine, just so that I can learn all of her styles. She has so many different moves and just ball handling, everything.
There's a lot to choose from, but I would definitely say Kelsey Plum, just because of her playing style, the way how she's always in a fast pace, and just the way she handles the ball very well.
Okay, to the Lady Night Nation, this is for the players, and then Coach, I want you to sum it up for me. To all the Lady Night Nation fans that's watching, tell them what to expect when you guys come out on the floor and give it your all. Tell them what they're going to see.
I would say they're going to see a team that is very much like a team. You know, we cheer each other on. I'd say even though, say, we're down in a game, we're still going to be up in our attitudes. You know, we're still going to have good attitudes. And I think, like Coach said, we're going to be a lot more fast-paced this year, and we're going to try our best, even though if our best is losing, we're trying our best. You know, we're going to have good attitudes toward everyone and good sportsmanship.
Yeah, back to what Coach was saying, there's definitely going to be a new version of Centerpoint basketball than what people have seen this year. We're definitely going to speed the game up, come out with a bunch of different defenses, just like Coach said, and we're just going to give it our all for every game and make sure that we're giving each other confidence.
I would say a lot of hustle, especially on defense, and definitely uplifting each other when we're down.
Coach, sum it up for me.
Sum it up. Every day when we call it up after practice, we call it up for a game, we say family. And what you're going to see is a family-oriented, everybody on the same page, fast-paced, fun-to-watch basketball team.
Well, there you go. Lady Night Nation, I hope you're proud and looking forward to supporting your team.
Thank you guys for doing this.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
Okay, up next we got the Parkview Lady Patriots with head coach Am I saying that right, Coach? Lahoma Howard. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing good. Coach, give us an intro of yourself and who you brought with you.
Okay. My name is Lahoma Howard. This is the start of my 30th year of teaching, 29th year, of teaching and coaching in Little Rock School District, and the head coach for Parkview Lady Patriots, 23 years.
23.
Long time.
Yes.
Here to my right, introducing my players who I brought with me, starting on my far right, Kristen Cooper. She's one of our team captains. She's our senior this year. And also Amaya Gooseby, one of our seniors. To my left, I have Chloe Austin, a junior, and Micaiah Palmer, sophomore.
Okay, Coach, give us a recap of last season and some of those goals and expectations for this season.
Ooh, I don't like to recap. As always, last year was not the end result that we wanted. We got an opportunity to compete in state tournament against Farmington, who goes on to win it all. However, we've learned from those things for our expectation, talking about change at the end of that game. Change is good. As always, people in general, kids, adults, we don't often like change. We kind of like things to go the same way, although we continue to do that same thing and we still get the same result. That's insanity to me. So change is good. We're conditioning. We talked about our quickness. That's we can basically use to our advantage. Just hard work, leaving it all on the court. But those are some of the things that we're looking at this year to do a little different than we did last year. And hopefully we're looking for a better result.
So this is for the girls. Starting with you, Christian. Talk about, over the summer, I followed you, and it seemed like you did some things over the summer that kind of added to your stock or added to your skill set. Talk about how you implemented those things and plan on bringing them to this year's season.
So most definitely, I was able to, play with some of the best girls in the country, and being around some of the best coaches in the country as well. So bringing those, habits and those practices that I learned from them, and implementing it into our team and leading our team, and just, reminding everybody that hard work is just something that you gotta want.
What about with you?
The main thing I worked on this summer was my shooting. I've always struggled just in being confident with the ball, and especially being confident with my shooting. And this year, with me having to be one of our main ball handlers, aside from Coop, I just need to be more comfortable with the ball. So this summer, I spent a lot of time with my trainer, and we just worked on just my shot, being more confident with the ball, making moves into my own shot, and just trying to better myself.
What about you, Chloe?
This year, I really tried working hard on my ball handling, trying to handle the ball more, because I know I'm coming up and I'm going to be moving up as a senior soon, so I need to work on ball handling and take care of the ball.
Kaya?
I've definitely worked on better post moves this season, being able to use my body against other people and being able to handle the ball and shoot the ball, just to be better and be better for my teammates.
Coach, and I know you said that you didn't really want to look back because you weren't really proud of that record. I think when you really look in depth at that schedule, though, your record doesn't really reflect what happened last season. I mean, I'm looking at the beginning of your non-conference, and you guys played Nashville, Bologna, Bentonville, Marion, Central, Springdale, West Memphis. That's a lot of tough teams right in a row. Then you won a lot of games, and you did go to the state tournament and lost to the eventual best team in the state. Did you schedule another brutal non-conference schedule this year?
Most definitely. Just trying our best. That's the way we get better. We want to be the best. We play against the best. We don't run away from a fight. And a lot of talent teams we're going to play. We're going to play against Marion again this year. East Em has an outstanding team. We saw them this summer. Mills have a great team. So we definitely, are adding to our, teams that we know is going to push us to the limit, and that we're going to compete hard, and we're going to just leave it on the court.
And I'd like to hear from all four of you ladies. We can start Kristen down here. How do you guys stay together as a team when you're playing literally the best teams in the state week in and week out, and it may not be amounting to wins right now, but down the season, down the road, it will help you out? How do you guys stay together as a team?
Right, and I think our relationship off the court, brings that, together as much. So even if we don't get the outcome that we want, we still know that we're going to come back and we're going to fight harder for our next games. And just knowing that everybody has the potential to be the best player on the court, and just knowing that we can be the best team on the court, that just keeps our confidence up, even if we do win or lose throughout the season.
Well, the main thing I think helps us stay connected throughout the season and just during games is that seeing each other work hard and put in work. One of my older coaches, he's now our athletic director, Coach Randall. He always say iron sharpens iron. So if you see me working hard, putting in work, I believe that it will eventually move on to you and that you will continue to do the same thing. You see me working hard, coming in, day out, trying to get better. You would do the same thing. So eventually we gel together because we all just trying to work hard and win games.
I think that we've just been pushed really this year, and I think that's really going to help us in the long run. Us going against these harder teams, we've really been doing much better, and I feel we'll have a really good outcome at the end.
Going off of what Amaya said, with us seeing other people work hard will make your teammates work hard. So that'll just be a better thing for the court because you're working hard, so you want to work hard for your teammates, and everybody just come together and be able to put it all together and work hard for everyone on the court.
And Coach, remind me, you lost Naomi Sharpley. Who else was on that team last year that you lost?
Juicy, Tyler.
Yeah, I had Juice and
Tyler.
Okay,
Collins,
so
yeah.
lost in production.
I'm sorry. I don't call it Jariah White. We call her Juicy.
Gotcha.
And then Tyler Collins.
So you lost some production on the court, some leadership on and off the court. Who are you leaning on? Other than Kristen, who else are you leaning on? It may not even be girls that are here to fill in those production gaps and that leadership gap.
Well, most definitely, the other three, other than Coop, who are here with me, definitely going to be leaning on them. Also, Natalie Jones, our three-point specialist. That's what I call her. But we're on the grind, and we're small, but we're going to be quick. We have a lot of speed, and we're going to use that to our advantage.
I'd like to hear from all four of the ladies on this question. How have you guys taken the off season, summer practices, team camps, fall practices, to start embracing that leadership role? What have you guys been doing, specifically? Maybe some training, but also what are we doing off the court to be good leaders?
Right, and especially during school, Coach Howard, she pushes us and puts hard responsibilities on us to, just grow us as not just basketball players, but just young women and being able to be in the world. And most definitely just, talking to our teammates outside of practice, holding them accountable with, just being outside on the street and whatever, because, anything can happen in basketball. Really grows that.
I feel like the main thing is that with me, I'm not the type to bite my tongue when we're on the court. So I might get on to you on the court, but then afterwards, I'll play with you. I'll come back and joke with you. So I feel like it's a balance. That I'm not being mean to you or being hard on you just because I want to be, but I'm doing it just so we could be better together. So I feel like me being able to be harder on them on the court, but then I can laugh and play and we can have a good bond outside of the court. I feel like that's a good balance between the two.
Love that.
I would want to go off what Amaya said, not biting your tongue. We got onto each other with accountability. We were talking about it with each other, about what we needed to work harder on, what we needed to do better. We just helped each other out a lot.
I'll go off of what Chloe said, being able to go to your teammate to tell them or ask them, what do I need to work on? What is wrong? What should I fix? Just being able to talk to each other, but not do it in a mean way, a way that we'll understand and take it in, but still get a good result out of it.
So, Coach, just thinking, I know you talked about last year, but I always look at things as a building block, right? So is there a moment last year that you felt like this team, that they grew from or they can build on, so to speak? Is there a moment that you can think of?
Oh, wow. Overall, like I said, after that first round of state tournament, we had our powwow. We talked about things that we need to work on together. Not just me as a coach to grow, but also as the players. They did better on taking constructive criticism from each other, even from the coaches. And we know that attitude is everything. And so if we have the right attitude and our work ethic goes with it, then we're going to be unstoppable.
Coach, you done had a lot of talented players come in, and I done seen that, the trap. I call it the trap house, but it's Parkview Arena or gymnasium. That gym and that crowd gets so ramped up. Talk about how important it is that the crowd stay with you guys and start supporting you, on those outer trips as well as the home games.
We talk about Parkview versus everybody. And so we know every gym we go into, we know it's going to be hostile. And so we need to set the tone on how things should go. If we work hard, like we've been doing since this summer to start over for the new season, then we know we're going to pull in even some of our opposing teams. We're going to have some people that's going to join in with us. And they've done it as well in the past. Although win or lose, they'll say, Coach, you got your player playing, team playing hard. And so other people are looking at us too. Yeah. And we know it's not all about just our talent, it's just overall just our behavior, our attitude, and that means a lot.
So to the ladies, for all the Lady Patriot fans that's watching, talk to them and let them know what this year means to you and what they will see once you all hit the court.
Yeah, this year is definitely personal for just not even myself, Coach Howard, but us as a team. Last year, losing that first round, that definitely woke everyone up. And so after that round, we're going to have some fun this year, and it's going to be a totally different year this year. Definitely going to have a winning season.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to speak for the team on this. I don't know if this is how everybody feels, but I definitely feel like the past couple years at Parkview, I've been an underdog. So this year is just my year to just prove myself. It's the last year I got it. So I just want to go out, play the best that I can play, just leave it all on the court because ain't no going back, ain't no redos. Just do my best every game.
I think this year, because after this we will be losing a lot of seniors, I think this should be a really big year for us, and we should go all out and go the hardest we've ever went just to really show out for our seniors.
I definitely feel like this year is our point to prove. We got a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of people that doubted us, that didn't think we would make it to state. And last year we made it to state, we lost out in the first round. But I feel like losing out in the first round, it made a hole in our heart. Like, we could go farther. We got to work harder and just really show people that we're that team. Like, we can get there and go past the first round.
Coach, could you sum that up and let the Lady Patriot Nation know what to expect from the product you're going to put on the court?
To sum it all up,
yeah,
you're definitely going to see what Parkview Lady Patriots have been built on all these years, that hard work, that grind, giving our all, and we leave it on the court, that hard work. And when you have players and coaches all committed together and going in the same direction, the sky's the limit for us.
Well, there you have it, Lady Patriot Nation. They're looking to bring that effort, that energy, and they most definitely will need your support this year. So, Coach, thank you all for coming down, and appreciate you for participating, and good luck to you.
Thank you all for having us.
We've had enough of this nonsense.
Here we
Okay, up next we have the Nashville Lady Scrappers with head coach Paul Dean leading the way. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good. How you doing?
Coach, man, doing great. Hey, tell the fans who you are and tell them who you brought with you.
All right. My name is Paul Dean, head girls basketball coach at Nashville High School. To my far right, senior Carson Scrivener. Immediate to me is senior Sophia McCauley. To my immediate left is Emma Chambers. She's a senior. And then junior Ava Basilier.
Coach, had a great season last year, right? So talk about the season. Talk about the highs and lows all the way up to the regionals, and just how you plan on just getting back there and peaking past that point.
Yeah. So last year, our season hit some road bumps in October, starting last week this year, and then yesterday this year, with Lyris Bennett going down with ACL, and then Kenny, Scrivener breaking her leg. And then the second game of the year, the first Friday night, Caroline chipped the top of her tibia and was basically a pothole in the top of her tibia for the rest of the year. So there's 60% of your starters injured and out with a couple weeks to prepare. But I was proud of our team, and looking back, I was so proud of them because not too many people can lose 3 starters with season-ending injuries, and Caroline played through hers. And finish where we did and play the people we did and compete how we competed. I couldn't ask for anything more for these kids, and that speaks a lot, and that's a testament to these kids, the parents, the town, and the community.
So talk about, I know you don't want to talk about, but we got to talk about this state, championship game. So just being able to semi-final, I'm sorry, my bad. Being able to get there, my bad, and just capitalizing at that moment. And I know you said you had some injuries or whatnot. How are you looking to get past that point, and especially with the injuries, how you plan on just making sure that they stay healthy?
Yeah, so basically this summer we did about 7 total days of practice and camp. In the past, we would do 8 days in 2 weeks. So in 2 months, we did about 8 days. And then this fall, I cut the practice in half. And I tell them the most important thing is do not get hurt. You can't win it in October or August or September, but you can lose it with a certain injury or something goes wrong. So my whole focus, even to today, is don't get hurt. I was upset about not practicing. I thought, wait a minute, nobody's going to get hurt not practicing. So I was good with it, missing today.
This is for the players. It feels like Nashville's always good. What is it about the program that is to where it is?
I just want to say along that, we just get after it in practice, go hard, intense, do everything we can to be on top.
Also, I feel like it has a lot to do with our coach. He's really good. He's had a great program for the past years. He's won it, so yeah, he's great.
Coach Dean, he's a great coach. He really is. He's a great guy, and he always puts his best foot forward in practice, and he makes sure that he gets us to where we need to be.
I would say we're super aggressive. We push each other to be better every day, and we just try to play as hard as we can just to be at that level.
Coach, you've always been known as I'll play anybody anywhere, and I'm looking at your non-conference, and you've got Searcy and Parkview and East End and Centerpoint, who will be good, North Little Rock, Bryant, Central, and then looks like you got a January non-con game with Valonia. So what's the philosophy behind basically, scheduling all the tough teams in the state to play?
I grew up, my dad coached in Pine Bluff, and they always played the best, every night. There wasn't a night where you weren't playing one of the best teams. The Joe T. Robinson tournament used to be the best when I was a little kid. 30 years ago, it was, if you were good, the girls were in it. Pine Bluff, Bryant, Lake Hamilton with Tiffany Waite. I grew up with it, and then I go to work for Clay Reeves at Greenwood, and it's the same thing. It's the same schedule night in and night out, and I thought, well, this is just how you do it. Those are two of the best, and I'm going to try to do what they do.
You guys lost one of the best leaders you could have last year with obviously coach's daughter as point guard. So Carson, we can start down here with you. how are you guys stepping in now to that leadership role? Right, you've been in the program for a few years, and you've lost that leadership. So, I'd like to hear from all of y'all. But how are you guys stepping into that leadership role? Not just on the court with production, but also off the court.
Yeah, it's definitely different this year because last year Caroline, she was, like you said, she was a good leader. But for me, the biggest thing is just being more vocal, just kind of stepping out of my comfort zone and, being vocal and stuff.
For me, I think leading by example has a big part to do with it because you have all these younger kids and there's 5 of us seniors. Well, we know what Coach Dean likes and what he doesn't like because we've been with him long enough. And so I think just us stepping up and doing everything right to the best of our abilities has a big role.
Definitely what she said, leading by example for the youngers, and also just staying positive for those younger kids and helping them know what he wants, like Sophia said.
Yeah, I think my leadership role is just being energy, just having a lot of positive energy and just keeping it alive and just making sure everybody is feeling comfortable on this team.
Coach, you obviously have a great sporting cast. I mean, you have fans at a media day. I don't think any other school had that this whole time. Talk about your support system and your fan base at Nashville.
So there's not enough that can be said for Nashville. Everybody knows it is a football town. I think they went to the playoffs 40 or 50 years in a row or something. The people love these kids, and they support them. They can't go to Walmart without getting bugged by some old man, by a little kid wanting to hug on them. And I think it starts with these kids working hard in all sports, not just basketball, but all sports. The parents, the support they provide. When we get in season, it's 6 days a week. The summer, you got to plan vacations. I'll use Sophia as an example. 6 months in advance, Coach, what are we doing this summer? Well, we're going to go to team camps and do this. She goes, well, I'm planning on going on vacation, but we're not missing anything. You don't get that type of commitment everywhere. And so I'm very appreciative of that. As far as the administration, Ms. Riggs, our high school principal, Coach Nichols, our AD, Mr. Graham, the superintendent, Mr. Gordon, our assistant soup, and Mr. Kell was assistant soup. He's gone now, but when I was there, when I first got hired, he was there. Their support of you working hard and supporting you, as long as you're doing what's right and treating the kids how you would treat your own, they're going to have your back. And I think the community in general has our back. Every year come state tournament time, I have to turn my phone off because I get so many calls from people I don't even know in Nashville. Coach, what can we do to help? Coach, what can we do to help? I said, quit calling so I can watch some film, That's what I'm thinking. But when I look back, not many places have that type of support as a community. It's tight-knit. It's a family atmosphere, and I'm happy to be here, and that's a big part of our success.
My question's a follow-up to that because you talked about it being a football school. It's historically been a baseball school, too. So you guys win state 2022. You go back in 23, back-to-back semifinal runs. But it hasn't always been think about pre-COVID, right before you got there. It certainly wasn't to the extent that it is now. So I know you credit your assistants, you credit the players, the community, but for you to be the leader of this program, to see the way that everything is unfolded and the success, what has that meant to you?
I remember when I interviewed, I told them, I said, guys, I'm not from this area, but if it's what I've been told it is, this is a giant. This will be a top 10 program overall and maybe top 5. With what y'all support and what you do, focus on athletics and what you do to get people to come and your commitment to the excellence, not just wanting the excellence, but what are you going to sacrifice to get the excellence? I just thought it's a monster. And I told him, I said, I think it'll be bigger in football. I said, I don't see any reason why the girls basketball can't be bigger and more successful than football. And they all, it was all football guys. They looked like that. But I'm in it, and I think it's coming to fruition because, again, like you said, the kids, the parents, the administration, the community, and also the coaching staff. Coach Scrivener's now, and she's done a great job as well.
I'll piggyback off what Kyle said, and I'll just say what he didn't say out loud. I mean, you are one of the best coaches in the state, and you have built this program into a top 10 overall program. Does that come from all your dad? Does that come from coaches you were underneath? Where does it all come from?
And people older than me or my age will know this. At Pine Bluff, my dad felt like they were in the semis every year. If they got beat, whoever beat them in the semis usually won it, right? Pine Bluff football. I mean, they won 4 out of 6 when it was the top 32. We're in at 5 out of 6. So I got to see Coach Glover in action. You know, he's a legend. Coach Bach, baseball. You know, then I got to watch track. You know, like I would skip school and act sick and go watch whatever I wanted to watch in sports. But if I was actually sick, my dad would get mad at me. You know, oh, well, you gotta go do something. But if I went and did something and watched somebody else play, one of the high school coaches coached, he was good with it. But I just grew up around those Pine Bluff coaches, and of course Coach Reeves. You can't say enough. You know, it speaks for itself. Whatever I say won't do it justice. So I've just been fortunate to be around a lot of smart people and a lot of successful people. And I didn't mention this yet, but I didn't work for Coach Jones at Greenwood in football, but I observed him a lot, how he handled himself with kids, with parents, with administration, on the sideline. I observed a lot, and I felt like I've just been very fortunate in the people I've been around to see how successful people do things.
So, you know, just for the ladies, you have the younger girls coming up watching you. So let's talk about being a student athlete with the pressures of life, academics, basketball, you know, injuries. So talk about just the pressures of that and how you deal with it. And, you know, for them that's watching, give some advice to them.
I don't really feel too much pressure with that because we have like an amazing support group, like our fans, coaches, teammates. So,
yeah. I do like to see the littles and the kids that are just younger than us, and I want to set a good example for them because there are kids that are younger than us that look up to us and they see us go and play all these games, but like it's a part of our life. It's not our whole life.
And on that academic thing that you were saying, I feel like we're all pretty good students. We're all in college classes, keeping up on that, having time management, and I think that sets a good example for the youngers.
Yeah, and just setting an example and just to have someone look up to you means a lot, and just being somebody that you can look up to, and I think it's great.
I'll piggyback off a question again, kind of building off of that. You know, you think about the V of Arkansas, Northwest, Central, Northeast Arkansas. You see players go to college from that region all the time. It's not maybe as much in the South, especially once you get into the deeper part of the South of the state. But Carson, I know congratulations on your commitment to Harding. Abe, I've seen you go on visits. I think just about all of you are getting college attention. So Carson, I'll start with you. What is your advice, or I guess a little bit of advice to the younger crowd that may be a little bit, especially maybe in your area that might not be getting the looks that they're wanting, but also just the recruiting process in general. It's a lot different than it used to be, especially within recent times.
It definitely takes a lot of time in the gym. You gotta stay in the gym, like hard work, and really, like if you want it, then just get it. Like if that's what you want, then you just gotta go get it. Honestly, so yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to work day in, day out. Just if you want it, you can chase after it, and you can get it if you really believe in yourself.
And also, never get discouraged. You just got to keep on working, even if you're not getting it. Just keep on going.
And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. One thing that I have definitely learned over the years is your head. You're your own enemy. I've learned that lesson. You've got to stay out of your head, and you just can't let small stuff get to you.
And Harding, right, Carson?
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations. All right, so ladies, I'm gonna kick this to all four of you guys. I want your best or your funniest Coach Dean story, okay? Now, we're not trying to get somebody fired,
Right.
but give me your best or your funniest Coach Dean story. Whoever wants to go first.
One thing, I thought about it on the car ride over here, actually.
You were thinking about it ahead of time.
Yes,
Okay.
I was prepared. Coach Dean's mom, Coco, she always brings us candy before the games. And it was before a game last year, and Coach Dean had come in the locker room. Well, the candy was just sitting in the middle of the floor, and Baz walks over, and she got a handful. I think it was Sour Patch watermelons. Those are his favorite. And she just gets a whole handful of them and just eats them, and he's just looking at her. And he's like, really, you're going to do this right before a game? And he just got so mad.
I just needed some energy. I just had to get going.
I can't really say the one that I want to, but in practice, it's always like, it's fun. He's always cracking a couple jokes, so yeah.
He actually has spit in my face before in a huddle.
I said we're not trying to get people fired.
No, but he just talks really fast, and sometimes he gets carried away. But yeah, he's
The spit came out as I was
no, yeah.
Do you have one, Emma?
I haven't really been here, but I mean, whenever I we'll shoot a 3 or something in practice, he'll call me my sister's name. I thought that was funny.
Now, Baz, I have a good story. I was in practice one time. I told him the crazy train's coming, and it's going to end up arriving earlier than we thought, and it's probably going to depart later than we thought, so just be ready. Well, the first day, I crank it up. I get mentally prepared all day for practice to just be hard on them and just nitpick them. Well, I get mad, I start yelling and screaming, and I get a headache, and I start seeing stars. I said, Baz, I'm either going to have an aneurysm, a stroke, or a heart attack, or all three. And she says, I'll come visit you in the hospital, maybe. You know, I thought, that's pretty good.
That's a great relationship between coach and players, though. You know, a lot of times we end this by having the coach or players tell, the fans what to expect. I think every Scrapper fan knows what to expect from your program and from these players. We appreciate you guys coming out, and best of luck this season. All right, y'all?
Thank y'all for having us. I appreciate the exposure y'all are doing and all the work and time you put into it. Thank y'all.
That's going to close out day 3, session 2 of the Big Miller High School Media Days. We appreciate everyone tuning in and joining.